Hello, boys and girls. How are we doing? Hello. I still can't lift this arm up properly. I had a whole weekend off sitting at my desk and my shoulder is still ruined. I've decided it's just from... That's my mouse arm. I've injured my mouse shoulder. It's the worst possible injury I could suffer as a football manager YouTuber, to have a mouse arm injury. But yeah, I can get it to... I mean, it's not as bad as it was. I can get it to there now. Towards the end of last week, I couldn't go higher than that. So we're getting there. I don't have full mobility back yet. I don't think it's a real injury. I'm assuming it's not a real injury. It was just achy. How are we doing? How are we doing, everybody? What do I say? Something about cool kids, pre-stream stream. I'm thrown off because it's not 5 to the hour when I'm doing this. I realised I wasn't going to be ready for 7 o'clock because Anna was home late from work, but I didn't need to sit here and wait until 8. So I thought, let's start the stream early. Now I know why not. I have my routines. I have certain things to say at certain times, and this isn't 5 to the hour. Hello, folks. Welcome to the pre-stream stream. This is where the cool kids hang. That's what I say. We'll get started on the stream. I do need rebooting, I think. We'll get started on the stream in a minute. I just thought I'd pop in, say hello for a few minutes, see what the happy hap is. New diagnosis of mouse shoulder. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what I've got. I'm more. Do you reckon more 21? I think that's what it might be. Thank you for the sub. Very kind of you. Injection 1 to 3 days. Treat at club 2 to 7 weeks. I mean, it's interesting that you say injection. It is in the arm I had my COVID jab, and it's ached ever since I've had it. Now, there's no way it is still aching. Surely it's a week and a half now since I had my COVID jab. And I've not got full mobility back in that arm. So I think what it actually is it hurt for a few days because I had the jab, but I just carried on working because I'm a trooper and overcompensated for it. And I've actually caused myself a strain by being in an unusual position and working through when I should have rested it, when it was just, I just had a dead arm for a couple of days. I think that's what I've done. But yeah, it's likely to ache for up to 14 days. Is that actually a thing? So it probably is still just because of the jab. Is that serious? I might Google that actually. How long does your arm hurt? Oh, first thing that comes up before a heart attack. I don't think it's a heart attack. How long does your arm hurt after COVID injection? I mean, it's not clear. I mean, it was early days. People don't really know, do they? Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it's fine. It's not like unbearable pain. Someone's just said that's why I won't be having the injection. That's not a reason not to have the injection. Have the injection, for goodness sake. Let's stop this nonsense from happening. It's just a bit of arm ache. It'll be fine. Mine was fine after 24 hours. I'm getting the jab tomorrow. I mean, positive spin on it. The actual feeling poorly only lasted a day. But yeah, my arm's been a little bit... I hope this ache hasn't gone for 2 weeks. This really hurts. I'm 2 days in. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's better than it was. You saw me on stream last week. When I couldn't get my arm above there. Whereas now I can go up there. It doesn't feel fully mobile. It's not like it's hurting all the time. But if I try and push it above my head, it hurts a little bit. But like I say, I think it's actually because I didn't rest it when it was hurting and probably sat a little bit differently and then caused all sorts of stuff in there. You know how important posture is. It's all very complicated stuff. No Shearer goal celebrations. I can do them with this arm. Didn't he run off? In my head, he used his left arm for that. Anyway, you have to have the hand open as well, don't you? Like that. That's a Shearer, I believe. Would I rather have a sore arm or COVID? Exactly. It's not difficult to work out, is it, boys and girls? Right. Should we play some Football Manager? Because I'm itching to get back into it after not streaming last night. I think that's going to be a regular thing. I think it's been a long time since I've had a proper schedule because of Anna's new job and us moving house and everything. But I think my schedule from now on is going to be that I stream Monday to Thursday. I start sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. depending on what time Anna gets home from work. And then Friday night I do the podcast, Saturday and Sunday night I have off. And we're going to try and recapture this work-life balance thing that I hear people talk about, but I've never really done. Posture check. I'm doing the posture check now. Posture check. There we go. Beautiful posture check. Right, so the save. I've left it on this screen because we signed 19 players in the summer. Ooh, 19 players. That's probably why we're struggling at the start of the season. It's season 7 of The Save. We're on Club 2 of our UK and Ireland non-League to Legend. We're at CLYDE. This is our second season with CLYDE. We got promoted from Scottish League One as champions last season, our first time back in the second tier of Scottish football since the 2008-2009 season. And we completely rebuilt the team over the summer with another 3 new players coming in from former clubs Llanelli, including the one-armed Swan who has hit the ground running. Everyone else, not so much. We could do with some more hitting the ground running because we're struggling a little bit for form at the start of the season. It's been a little bit up and down. We've got the 1 win. So I say it's a little bit up and down. It's largely down with the 1 up where the one-armed Swan got a hat-trick. That aside, we've struggled for goals in total. I mean, we did all right in the Betthread Cup, which is weird because Kilmarnock, I think, are Premiership. Yeah, Kilmarnock are Premiership, and we got past them on penalties. But we've just really struggled since the league season has started. But hopefully we'll turn it all around. Beagles, thank you for the bits. Glider Dan, thank you very much for the sub as well. 12-month streak. That's when you know you've been back on Twitch for a year, when people are dropping in with a 12-month streak. So I don't know if I've noticed a 12-month streak before. That might be a new... Are you the first one to the 12-month streak? Oh, there was a hydrate as well that I missed. This is probably where there's loads of people who are on the 12-month streak. Is there anyone other than Dan on a 12-month streak?
Any news on the Queen being a tinner?
Fred, thank you very much for the sub. I think the Queen's got other things to worry about at the moment, hasn't she? There's been lots of royal news over the last 24 hours. None of it, apparently, to do with whether or not she's a tinner, which, to be honest, I think we're really missing the big issue here. People want the big questions answering. Is the Queen a tinner or not? Just noticed Apollon are in the top tier of Greece now. Yeah, they went up last year. Every time I still get the goal alerts and stuff through to my phone. Every time they play, they seem to lose. So I suspect they're going to get relegated again. But it was good to see they got promoted. Fred's not on a 15-month streak. He's got 15 months in total, but it's not on a streak. I'm interested in anyone who's got 12-month streak. Scotty's 12-month streak comes up in 1 day. The Eagles had his 12-month streak 2 weeks ago. All right, show off. All right, show off. I think we can agree for ourselves the Queen is a tinner. I love the fact that that's carried on 3 or 4 streams now. That's officially a thing. We might have to change what we call you lot. Maybe you lot are the tinners. But I guess you don't really have a name at the moment. Perhaps when we raid other people now, it'll be the tinners are the tinners are in. If you're not a tinner, go and watch Zealand. You'll want to eat out of a tin after that. I think you came back last year. I got a gifted sub in the first month, so might be a few people on 13-month streaks. Wowzers! It was certainly around this time because, as I've quite openly said about it before, me coming back to Twitch was a direct response to COVID and everything, and YouTube ad revenue just falling through the floor, which happened right at the start of March. If my figures from last year are anything to go by, you get a month-on-month graph to show how much ad revenue you make, and March and April last year were so low compared to the rest of the year. So I'm guessing it was fairly early March that it became clear, need to get that second income stream up and running again, back to Twitch. And I started doing the lockdown live streams on the vlog channel as well. Very busy early on. Kev's a winner. We're the tinners. Love it. Just come from watching Zealand. He's entertaining. He's not. Is he a tinner? Of course he's not. Of course he's not a tinner. Entertaining my eye. The man's a button clicker. A button clicker. Lemon Freak, thank you very much for the sub. How's Clyde doing? Not so well. Hopefully after this international break we'll be doing a little bit better. It was when Animal Crossing first came out. Yeah, that was all around the same time, wasn't it? A year ago today, I'd just been to watch United beat City 2-0. Oh, how times change. I mean, you've not been to see them this time, have you? 12 months on the 18th. Nice. Hello, Sir Kevy 5 times. I like it. I mean, it is about... At what point do I get a knighthood for services to the Streamer Showdown? Single-handedly carrying the tournament on my back. People will talk about Dr. Benji and Nerdphonic doing lots of work behind the scenes, but just like the Attitude Era in WWE wouldn't have been a thing without Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, the Streamer Showdown wouldn't be a thing without Kevy 5 times. You need a star. You need a star, and I'm your star. Sir Kevy 5 times. I like it. Wants to start more games. I don't think it's going to happen. We have to send him back to Wales. Da, da, da. We saw the tactic that got you promoted to the championship. Button clickers would be proud, said Kevy. Oh, I know. Sometimes you just got to get in on it. Kev for I'm a celeb. Don't know about that. I don't really want to eat like maggots and stuff. That doesn't really appeal to me. I've never really watched it. All I hear about it is people eat maggots and things. It needs to work behind the scenes when you just win all the time. Exactly. Fleming, thank you very much for the sub. 29 months now. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I'm a Northampton fan and they just won 2 games in a row in League One. I think I must be in a fake reality. Amazing. Kangaroo, they drink kangaroo pee-pee? That's hideous. Why do they do that? Straight out of the kangaroo? Or what? Are they getting the kangaroo to pee in a cup? How do you collect kangaroo urine? Oh, the actual appendage. What, they're eating their wieners? Fresh kangaroo sausage. Are you serious? That's madness. Resub just tonight. Thank you very much, Big Mike. Just tastes like chicken, does it? Everything tastes like chicken, apparently. Does human wiener I don't want to know. What's the playlist called I play on stream? This is one of the Stream Beats playlists. It is the Stream Beats Lo-Fi playlist. To be honest, any of the Stream Beats stuff is pretty good. The Epidemic Sound stuff's pretty good as well, but I constantly get copyright strikes for it on YouTube. Even there's what a great playlist, The Incredible Kevin. My family love me. Yeah, the Epidemic Sound stuff. Even though I've got an Epidemic Sound membership, they claim it and then I have to appeal it, and so I won't use Epidemic Sound stuff on stream again. We're all in on Stream Beats. They eat animal testicles and weird bugs. Yikes. I don't like the sound of this. Charlie Barnacle wants me to have a look at their youth player. Charlie Barnacle. Barnacle 2 is... Didn't we look at these two the other day? You get a twofer for this. I don't know how I feel about you getting a twofer. And then Barnacle original flavour. Still at Everton. There we go. As Richard Hammond says, just have chicken then. I mean, I don't know that I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here would get the same number of views if it was just a bunch of non-famous people sitting in the woods eating chicken. That's just camping, isn't it? I don't think that's quite as click-worthy. Is that the terminology they use in TV? I'm so out of touch with TV. I don't know how they describe it. It's not views, is it? Audience numbers? How do they even measure it? Do they still have people with those special set-top boxes? And then they average it up? Because in this world of streaming and digital TV, there must be a better way to track these things. Sky must know what channel we're watching at all times, surely. These boxes are connected to the internet. Are you telling me they don't know exactly how many people are watching? People who fill in online surveys now think that's mad. There must be a way to actually measure it accurately. Because I'd just lie on online surveys. Talking of lying on online surveys, I had to fill in the census form for me and Anna today. That was fun. I didn't lie. I'm not a monster. I did have to put down that my occupation was YouTuber, though. And then it asked me to explain what that was. In, what is it? You get like 80 characters or 100 characters or something. So I had to put my occupation as YouTuber, my industry as entertainment, and then I had to describe what I did. And that was the hardest part. In like one or two sentences, explain what I do. I make videos on the internet. People watch them. I'm expecting the census guy to knock on the door and say, look, Kev, we see what you've written on this form. Could you elaborate and explain how that's a job, please? This guy probably know everything about you through your TV box. Exactly. So they should at least release the data on what TV shows people are watching. Did you put your religion as football manager despite Miles saying not to? I didn't. Le Picto, thank you very much for the sub. Oh, the one-armed swan. He's in. The one-armed swan. Beautiful stuff. A Dante Casanova assist and the one-armed swan there with the header. YouTube influencer. People watch me pretend to be a football manager on a super detailed spreadsheet. I ask again, how Mr. Chapman, is that a job? Nobody knows. Nobody knows how it's a job. It just is. It must be a job because my complaints department is always really busy. Like it has been for the last 24 hours. Right, we're going to make some substitutions. I don't really know my players yet, which is a little bit of a problem. Are these all loans? Why have we got so... How have we got 7 loans in our matchday squad? How have we done that? Is that even allowed? Am I going to get in trouble? See, I don't know which way around these two should be. That way around seems to work. I want to get Andy Reid, the little fat moron, on as well, because me and him are big buddies, big friends, me and Andy Reid. They don't need to track via box. They track your account's activity. 70% of an event counts as viewed. So it's not done based on the special boxes anymore. They do just do it based on what they see. Is that right? Good ascenders in 200 years will try and Google search to find my videos. I know. Well, I didn't put LOLLUJO on there. They'd have to search by my real name, which I guess they'd find me by. You should do a vlog with the complaints department. I genuinely, if you haven't seen the kerfuffle about the vlog in the last 24 hours or so, you're probably best not knowing. Don't go to my Twitter. Don't go to the vlog channel and find out what's gone on. There has been so much kerfuffle though. And I have toyed with the idea of making a video about the kerfuffle, but I'm so over it. I just want to stick a sign on the door that says something along the lines of, tell me again how you expect me to be able to vlog without showing the outside of our house, without making it obvious where we live, therefore not being able to vlog outside of the house, but also not able to vlog inside of the house because Andy's never in the same room as us anymore, and the girls are never here, so it would just be me sat in this office, which is what the videos are already. There's a lockdown on, so we can't go out and do stuff outside anyway. And even if we could, Anna's not allowed to be on camera because of her job, and Andy doesn't want to be on camera, which is why he's not uploaded a video to his channel in months. Tell me again. Tell me again how I vlog that. Oh dear. That's what the Netflix article I just read said. Netflix, I think, is a little bit different. Netflix, I get that they are tracking all the data. I'm just wondering, like, how they get the viewer figures for how many people are watching the news, for example. Wheelhouse, thank you very much for the sub. 12 months. Beautiful stuff. But I want it like it was. I know. Don't we all? That should just be my response. How? Tell me how you think that video is going to look, you idiot. How's that going to work? Because Anna can't be in it. Andy can't be in it. Can't leave the house. But you don't want me to just sit at my desk. So... I could start doing the videos from my desk. Holding a camera out in front of me like this. That makes it feel more vloggy to you. I thought, you know, I'm sat down. Stick it on a tripod. Ah! What are we doing the Born save with US dollars? I think so. Although I don't want to have to keep changing it back and forth between the two saves. So because that's something you change in preferences, I don't know if that sticks to the save or what. I'll certainly do the first episode using all the funny American flavors and measurements. But if I then go into the home save and it's all American, then I'll just switch it back to pounds, and the US save will just have to be in pounds and stone and stuff like that, because I'm not going to constantly swap it back and forth between every episode, because that would be a nightmare. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with this. It must be because they have so little going on. It's because some of them are so young and don't think, and also aren't following any of the rules themselves. So I genuinely, just from driving around, I drove Anna to and from work today. She went in at lunchtime, so we were out and about in the middle of the day, and there's so many people just out. When I drove Amy back to Peterborough yesterday, we drove past a couple of parks and they're just full of people. We stopped to get a drive-through coffee on the way, and there were loads of people just hovering around the Starbucks. So clearly, I mean, there was a couple of kids who were just in there together. They're clearly not related. They're in Starbucks together, buying a coffee. How's that? I mean, people aren't following the rules. They don't understand why I'm following the rules. I think that's the problem. You have to reset. Personal experience as someone who does local currency for everything. Yeah, I'm not going to do that then. But yeah, I'm not going to break the rules just to be able to make trashy YouTube videos. So I am just in my house. We went to the doctor's this weekend and the shopping arcade was packed. But what are people doing? The shops are closed. This is what I don't understand. The shops are closed. What on earth are people doing out and about? Just having fun in Lidl. Some of the vlog audience are so toxic and stupid. I mean, what I've learned is family vlogging in general. I put this on Twitter today. The family vlogging genre is just a toxic cesspool that I don't want any part of. It just really is. It's pretty clear that all these people who for years have been telling us how much they love our family couldn't care less. And people didn't like it when things started to improve for us. They liked watching us suffer. They didn't like it when things started to improve. And they don't care about what's best for us as a family now. They don't care that Anna's job means she can't be in videos. They don't care that Andy doesn't want to be in videos anymore. They don't care. They just want their pound of flesh. They want their content. I feel like I'm making episodes of EastEnders or something. And I guess when I was in it every day and not really... I think that, if anything, I'm guilty of not noticing soon enough just how scummy the whole enterprise was, because I was in it and didn't have time to stop and have a look around. But, oh God, it's scummy. It really is. Family vlogging is hideous. This is your trip to play. Are we in Northern Ireland right now? Well, I never. I think the oddest thing about it is whether Andy was autistic or not, he's a teenage boy. How many teenage boys want to be filmed by their dad? Exactly. I always said, always, and people used to claim to understand and agree. I always said, if ever anyone didn't want to be on it anymore, they wouldn't be on it anymore. Lucy was the first to pull out a couple of years ago. And then around about the same time, Anna had to pull out, and Andy decided he's not been able to sit down and have the conversation with me, but even when we've tried to make videos when he's around, you've seen how little he's in them because he doesn't want to be in them. He's not filming himself anymore. The whole idea of video, he seems to have lost interest in it a little bit. So it's only me who wants to do it. So I'm still doing it. Honestly, I watched single vlog videos and just simply didn't enjoy it. Never judged or hated the comment section. It's just pathetic. Personally enjoyed watching the vlogs, but completely understand why you wanted to stop. Yeah, I mean, it's not even... I guess part of it is that I wanted to stop, but when I stopped in October 2019, I stopped the daily vlog, and at the time I figured I'd just stop for a bit and then get back to it at some point. And I think the longer I've been away from it, the more I've been able to see what it was. And it just so happened that while we were away from it, that's when everyone started pulling out of it. And it became pretty clear that if I ever got back into it, it would be a completely different thing anyway. And then that got me thinking, well, if I did start vlogging again, would anyone want to watch just me doing a vlog about me? Would I want to do a vlog just about me? And I didn't. So I just started doing the content I did want to make instead. What's the best tactic to counter Gegenpress? Just throw another Gegenpress back at them and just be like two boxers just swinging at each other's heads without any defense. I don't believe in trying to counter the other team's tactic. Just play the best tactic for you. Is Weird from the Internet making a return? We're talking about it. Maybe. I don't know. Can't decide if I want to do it or not. We need an in conversation with, starting with Sheepdog and Pav. What, on the vlog? Would that be interesting? I don't think that would be interesting. If people want to hear me talking to them too, they can listen to the podcast. I always like to sit down at desk vlogs anyway, so I'm loving the new format. Yeah, exactly. And I think I felt really vindicated in it this afternoon because someone summed it up perfectly in a way that I hadn't even really thought of yet. Someone said, Kev, I'm loving the fact that you're making more grown-up videos now. And it hadn't even occurred to me that that's what I was doing. But yeah, that's absolutely what I'm doing. I'm 38 years old. I'm making grown-up videos because I'm a grown-up, and that's cool. And eventually, my audience will shift older. My audience on the Football Manager stuff is much older than the audience on the vlog stuff. And really, you would expect them to be largely the same people. And at the start, they were largely the same people. But over time, because of various videos going viral on each channel, they each started to grow independent of each other and become their own thing. And I kind of lost control of the vlog a little bit. Do a best thing from lockdown. Problem is, because me and Sheepdog now live an hour away from each other, we can't really do best thing from. Because the whole premise of best thing from was me and him going somewhere. Which, I don't know. What was the average age of the vlog channel? It's difficult to say because, as someone pointed out to me today, kids lie about their age when they're setting up. According to the YouTube analytics, 75% of the audience is 15 to 44. No, sorry, 18 to 44. So it's largely an adult audience, but most of them are probably kids lying about their age. I only know you as an FM streamer, didn't know the vlogging. That's the best way to know me. I am infinitely better at doing this than I am at doing that. I originally started vlogging as a 1-year challenge just because I bought a camera and wanted to see if I could get good at it, and it turned into a 3 or 4 year thing, and that I felt trapped in and couldn't get out of. But it's always been FM as the primary thing. I'm 46. Wonder when I'll start doing adult things. You should watch my 10 things I would tell my 18-year-old self video. That would give you some tips for some adult things to do. Am I the eldest at 67? I love the fact there's a 67-year-old watching. That is amazing. Because that's now my biggest... I mean, this sounds pathetic. One of my biggest... I won't say it's one of my biggest fears, but you know where everyone has just general stuff that they worry about a little bit, the sort of things that you start thinking about late at night if you can't sleep. Your general sort of things that you're a little bit, oh, I need to figure out a way to resolve this kind of thing. My thing is, am I going to get too old for doing what I do before I've earned enough money from it to not have to worry about doing it anymore? To the point where there's like, I have graphs in my head of age is increasing, cross-referencing with income increasing, and me putting money away. And my plan at the moment is to try and earn enough money in the next 10 years to not have to worry about work again. So I'm currently saving more than half of what I earn. It's going straight into savings. Because I am just trying to put money away as quickly as I possibly can. But then I think, am I going to get 10 years? Which sounds ridiculous, but in 10 years' time, I'm going to be 48. People are going to still watch me playing Football Manager when I'm 48. And if I only get another 4 or 5 years, what do I do then? And that's my big, I'm so stressed. That's my big stress question at the moment. If I get too old, what am I going to do then? And yeah, I don't really have an answer for it yet. Doing FM suits you more than vlogging ever has. Absolutely. I feel like this is natural, and that is that's always been forced and difficult. When I can't sleep at night, I relive embarrassing moments from 20 years ago. Nice. I think in YouTube, age is just a number as long as the content is still entertaining. I understand that intellectually, but then at the same time, I look around for gaming content creators in their mid-40s, and I don't see any. And I'm like, I'm not far away from that. And I know even though I didn't start YouTube right at the beginning, because I started older than a lot of people, I am kind of in that first generation age group who are getting old with the platform. Like, Alfie and Zoe are having a baby. How exciting. But I'm like at the top end of that age group of the first wave of YouTubers. So it's no surprise that I don't see many people older than me doing what I do, because it hasn't been around long enough and not many people start doing it in their 40s or 50s. But it does make me, I do occasionally think, I wonder. As long as you have all your toys behind you, I really don't think people will care how old you are. I hope so. Adam, thank you very much for the sub. 11 months. No offense, I've always thought you were older than 38. I mean, that's pretty offensive. I mean, silly little things in my head as well. Like, do I dye my beard when it starts to go grey? Because I reckon I have a generic enough face now that I could pass for anywhere between like 35 and 50 probably at the moment. If I said to you, I'm 45, I don't think anyone would be like, you're absolutely not 45. No way. At the same time, if I said 35, I don't think anyone's going to say that. People are just like, yeah, maybe. You just kind of, yeah. But if I was completely grey-headed, then I'm just going to struggle to pass through my 30s then, aren't I? I think part of it is the platform's only about 12 to 15 years old. Yeah, I know. And that's the whole unknown of it. I'm in that first wave, so I don't know how it's going to work. We don't think of you as an adult when Little Jack comes out. Brilliant. Grow old gracefully. 45, do I look Spanish to you? Exactly. That's the other thing I've got going in my favour. Football managers generally are old. The older I get, the more I'm going to look like an actual football manager, I guess. I want to look as wrinkly and raisin-like as Arsene Wenger, but still be making videos. Is that Skeletor? How's Fit by 40 going? Slowly. Really slowly. It's really hard. It's hard to keep the motivation up when I'm stuck in the house all day, every day. I can't go out and do anything. I can't do the exercise I want to do, and it's just boring. I mean, I am still plugging away at it, but I'm not really lost any weight for a few weeks. Luckily, I've not put any on either, so it's not a disaster. But I need a way to inject some pace back into it again. What I need is for the gyms to open. I live walking distance from a nice gym that once they open, I mean, Andy's not in school yet, so I can't go every day, but he has carers who come around a couple of times a week now just to do something different with him and give us a break from being with him 24/7. So there's a couple of days a week there where I could go to the gym. Anna has a couple of days off work every week, so I could go to the gym then and she could go as well, and we're walking distance away. We could take it in turns and go. So there's like 3 or 4 days a week there where I could be going to the gym once they open again. And I think that'll make a big difference. And I know it's not all about your exercise and it's 80% what you eat and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I found it much easier to follow a diet plan when I was seeing the gains I was making in the gym. Like I was seeing the progress I was making. I felt like there was a purpose to it. Whereas at the moment, it's like if I lose 5 pounds in a week, I don't notice that. I don't feel 5 pounds smaller. I don't look 5 pounds thinner. It's just numbers. Whereas if I'm in the gym and I'm like, okay, well, I could go, I went a little bit faster on the treadmill today, or the incline was a little bit higher, or I lifted a slightly higher weight, or I did a few extra reps, and I'm tracking all that. I can see the progress I'm making, and I know the diet is helping with the progress. It just makes it so much easier to follow the eating. So I need the gyms to open, basically. For me, you could personally be anywhere between 32 and 55, and I'd 100% believe you. And as long as that situation maintains itself for the next 10 or 12 years, and Football Manager doesn't go away in that time, and YouTube and Twitch don't go away in that time, then I'm fairly confident. I reckon if I had a 12-year stretch, based on how much I'm earning now and how much I'm saving now, and it does kind of rely on Anna working as well, because obviously we've never had two incomes before, so it's quite nice having two incomes to play with as well. It's why we're able to save as much as we are at the moment. But if I could get a 12-year stretch at this from now, I've been doing it 5 years. If I could do another 12, then I'm fairly confident by the end of that 12 years, I'll have put enough money aside to never have to work again. That's what I'm working towards now. And then it'll just be like, I'll keep doing it until I get bored, or until it goes away at that point. But I need that amount of time to get there. And that's the challenge. You should aim to be on the front cover of the game. That'd be awesome. And you'll probably be in school when the gyms opens. I mean, they've got to find him a school first, so he hasn't got a school presently. So I don't know, when are the gyms opening? I haven't really studied the roadmap, but they're still showing no signs of finding him a school yet. So if the gyms are opening in April or something, chances are he'll probably still be at home. I missed it. How did the last season end? We got promoted. So we are now in the championship. I'll send you my before and after pictures. It may inspire me. I mean, by all means go for it. But to be honest, I don't think it will. I see lots of before and after stuff. My issue isn't inspiration. It's just finding a way to trick my brain into thinking it's a good idea. I'd wager that Twitch and YouTube are more likely to be replaced by a new generation of platforms, and FM will still be around. I certainly wouldn't expect Twitch to still be here in 10 years in its current form. YouTube, I do kind of feel at this point like YouTube is probably in this for the long haul. I'd be very, very surprised to see something come along and take what YouTube is doing and do it better. And I think what YouTube is doing is so important. I don't know. I don't see YouTube disappearing in the next 10 or 15 years. Twitch, probably. April the 12th is gyms. See, that's that he's likely to still be off school at that point. I believe I'll probably still watch Kev in the future playing FM21. I hope so. Football Manager's been around for 20-something years and shatters sales records. Oh yeah, Football Manager's probably not going anywhere, but you know, there's lots of games franchises that you'd potentially say something like that about, and it just takes a little bit of mismanagement. I mean, obviously we'll touch wood as I'm saying this, but if Miles has a massive heart attack and drops dead, and it's all under new leadership, how much of Football Manager's longevity is his vision and his drive to keep it moving forward every year? So there's always that little bit of, you know, it's very much Miles's thing, isn't it? Have I ever thought about doing man versus fat? Is that the football thing? I thought about it, but I don't really like people. I don't really want to be around a load of other people. Have I started to record Born in the USA? No, the database isn't quite finished yet. Or the publisher and SI getting a row. Yeah, exactly. Or, I don't know, a major Premier League club sues them and they lose. You never know, do you? Anything could happen. But I think that's the same in a lot of jobs. Obviously, I left a very, very safe job in teaching that is obviously going to be around for the rest of my career. So it's always something I can fall back on. But there aren't many things that you can guarantee. You know, job for life isn't really a thing anymore. Most people, like 10 years ago, what was I doing 10 years ago? I was in the second year of my degree 10 years ago. 10 years before that, I was a mortgage advisor. So, and in between the degree and now, I've been a teacher as well. So the chances of me sticking at it for the next 10 years are probably fairly slim anyway. But if it does, and if I do, that's the plan I'm working towards at the moment. And that's helping me sleep at night currently. YouTube seems to upset some of its bigger creators quite frequently. So unless they're just being crybabies, that's possibly its biggest threat of existence. Yeah, but what would it be replaced with? It would... Oh, sugar. I've just submitted that team without changing it. It would need... I mean, when you think about it, YouTube is owned by Google, one of the biggest, most rich companies in the world. So for it to be replaced at this point, it would have to be one of those other massive tech companies who come in and offer the alternative. So it needs to be Facebook or Amazon or Tesla, knowing how mad Elon Musk is. But realistically, you're looking at Facebook and Twitch. So, or Amazon. Do Amazon decide to make Twitch into a YouTube competitor? Do Facebook try and push even further into being a YouTube competitor? Personally, I think Facebook can try all they like, but they've upset too many people over the years for it to become as ubiquitous as YouTube is. But I think Amazon, if Amazon really decided to compete with YouTube, they probably could. But even then, I'm already established on Amazon's platform as well, so it's one of the reasons to be on it. We all end up watching Kev in the future for a VPN, like NordVPN, when he moves around the world. NordVPN's a great VPN. Have I ever put myself in the game as a player? Not since I was a kid. Used to do it every year as a kid. What's my favourite exercise to do in the gym? I mean, I'm a meathead. I'll sit there bench pressing all day long unless someone tells me to do something differently. Disney. I can't imagine Disney being able to relinquish control enough to create a platform full of user-generated content. Disney likes being controlled too much. Amazon have gone in on the streaming side. Sorry, Facebook have gone in on the streaming side. They have, but I don't have a Facebook account. Oh, I do, but I don't use it. So people aren't going to go over to Facebook and use it as their primary video search engine, I don't think. And that's the thing about YouTube. YouTube is like the Google of video, which is no surprise considering they're owned by Google. If you want to know something, I mean, YouTube has two strings to its bow that Facebook and Twitch don't have. Facebook and Twitch both try and compete on the entertainment side, and YouTube is great for entertainment. It's full of lots of entertaining content. But the big thing that YouTube does brilliantly that neither Twitch or Facebook do is the educational how-to stuff. Like, I didn't know how to fit my dishwasher when we moved into this house, so I went on YouTube and got a video. When my boiler was broken, I went on YouTube and looked at a video. And that, I don't see that situation changing unless Google implodes. Because Google control the searches, and if you want a video off of Google, they push you towards YouTube. And unless a search engine comes along and replaces Google, a video search engine isn't going to replace YouTube anytime soon. Archduke Melon, thank you very much for the sub. Disney's so proprietary they'd force all creators to stream within their own universe. I know. After where Mickey Mouse is. I was taught how to watch YouTube videos thanks to a YouTube video. That's amazing. Alta Vista or Ask Jeeves will make a comeback. Maybe. But what's their video solution? Because that's the thing. Even if you go on to Bing and search videos on Bing, you get YouTube. YouTube is everywhere. The only thing that brings YouTube down is government intervention for a monopoly. With YouTube, with Google having the monopoly on search engines and video search engines, earning the two biggest search engines in the world, if the government step in and say, well, you can't have them both, or you can't have all aspects of YouTube, you have to split it up. You can have the entertainment side, you can have the education side, you can have the YouTube originals a spin-off into, if it gets broken up into separate entities because it's too much of a monopoly, that could bring it down. But that's it. Even when I use DuckDuckGo, it turns up 90% YouTube. Exactly. I think even if Google goes bust, someone will just buy it up for an obscene fee and nothing will change. See, I don't even think it... I think it's too big to go bust at this point. I know that's a really naive thing to say, but they are so profitable now. They figured out how to make money on this internet thing. If Google's going out of business, the whole internet's crumbling. And we have a lot more to worry about than where I can put my YouTube videos. I don't see how the government can do that, to be honest. I mean, they can try, but I don't know how successful they'd be. But, for us, I guess the way the government does it, and it all comes down to, it'd have to be someone who had a real bee in their bonnet about it and just wanted to bring the company down for some reason. They'd need a real vendetta against them, because obviously the response is very simple from Google. If the American government say you need to break this company up, it's too much of a monopoly, the immediate response from Google is, well, we're going to relocate to London or Tokyo or wherever else. See ya, we're leaving the US. Obviously people will still be able to see our site because it's the internet, but the actual company isn't here anymore, so you can't do anything about it. Toodle pip. At which point the US government go, tax money, please stay, we take it all back. And then I guess that's where the stalemate comes. Google will just buy their own country. Exactly. Someone wanted to take down Google. Ironically, they'd have to use Google to search for and gather evidence. Brilliant. Oh, dear. Yeah, they're trying to bring down Google but can't find any evidence because they're insisting on using Bing to do all their research. The government they prevented 2 of the major supermarkets from combining. Yeah, but that's very, very different. Supermarkets are bricks and mortar companies trading within the country, and they have to follow the rules and regulations of the country that they're trading in. Google could just up and leave. Google have a major campus in London now. They'll have major campuses across the globe. Google owns huge amounts of land around King's Cross in London. You come out of King's Cross station and there's 2 massive Google towers behind it. There's another huge Google campus over near near all the theatres and stuff. I forget the area. So yeah, there's lots of Google around the world. Aren't the US government trying to break up Facebook right now? They're telling them they've got to sell off WhatsApp and Instagram, haven't they, because of the monopoly? So it'd be interesting to see how that works out. Because again, Facebook have the option of, if they can either comply or they could just up and leave and not be in the US anymore. But yeah, I know Facebook have been, I've got the whole issue with all of that. Went to a workshop at Google in London about 4 years ago. Really incredible place it is. And did you go on the Wi-Fi in there? It's the fastest Wi-Fi I'd ever seen. It was ridiculous. They have good internet in Google. Who'd have thought? We're losing, which is not acceptable. Really, people are going after Facebook for issues with Mark Zuckerberg. It has little to do with antitrust law. Yeah. He's a very polarizing man. And if you went on the Wi-Fi, did you use a good VPN? I didn't at the time, because this was several years ago, and I didn't have a good VPN at the time. I had an average VPN. I've had a VPN for many years because I care about my cybersecurity, but I didn't have NordVPN at the time because I hadn't yet discovered how much better they were than their competitors, both in terms of security, flexibility, working with the likes of Netflix and Disney Plus, and also cheapity cheap, because of the birthday gift that's going on at the moment. If you go to !NordVPN, oh yeah, there's a little bit of Macho Man Randy Savage at the end there. Oh yeah. Macho Man Randy Savage likes NordVPN apparently. From the grave. If the Macho Man was still alive, he'd use NordVPN. That's not endorsed by the company themselves, that particular advert. It's probably true, but there's no evidence of it, unfortunately. But we all know he was a wise man. He'd be all over NordVPN. Cue the smiley face thumbs up. Dun, 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 dun. That was the advert I'd buy. You should buy it anyway. It's great. And it supports the channel. We need winning on this stream so my school's basketball team can win their conference championship games. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think I have any influence over your school basketball team. Governments ignored the rise of tech for years and are desperately scrambling around. It's beyond them now. You only have to look at Bitcoin. Currency's been decentralized. The internet's taking over the world. We're becoming one big hive mind. I read ridiculous. You know the Dilbert cartoons. For a start, Scott Adams, the guy who writes them, another very polarizing man who has some extreme political views. To take the next sentence with a pinch of salt, I don't like the man, but I did, before I realized what a wanghole he was, I did read his thought experiment book called God's Debris, which was basically, it was written like 10, 15 years ago, and the entire premise was, and bearing in mind, I'm not religious, so this is no comment on religion or anything like that, I'm telling you about a book, but the whole idea was, God could do everything, got bored, so as his final trick decided to destroy himself, basically, and hence the Big Bang. He destroyed himself, spread parts of himself throughout the entire universe, and then the universe as we know it is God reassembling himself, and the internet is one of the final stages of him putting himself back together again and just becoming this one like beating hive mind omnipresent being. I thought, wow, that's such a clever little book. It's obviously complete balderdash, but I thought, wow, how many drugs did he take to come up with that? What internet provider do I use? I use BT. I'm not sure that I recommend them, but they're the only high-speed option in my area, so I don't really have much choice. No, not at Nestle anymore. We're in our second season at CLYDE. We did win the Welsh Premier before leaving, though. After watching the last stream and Ross County stealing a best player on a non-contract, turns out a lot of their youths sign non-contracts. Stole a 5-star youth as revenge. Thank you very much. What do I think the world will be like in 50 years? Have you played Cyberpunk? Probably a bit like that. Probably a bit like that. Right. Talking of Ethan Delcroix, is it time to be able to... Do you reckon we can get him back yet? No. We will keep trying. We'll try again in January. Full of bugs. It's not full of bugs or laggy anymore, is it? I thought it had been fixed. I keep meaning to go back to it, but I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 at the moment. So I'm going to finish that first and then go and have another try on Cyberpunk. And if that's still not fixed, I've now finally got round to downloading Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm actually finally going to play that. I'm so behind on video games because work. I'm a busy boy. I do a lot of work. I don't have a lot of time for playing games. He says his job is literally playing games, but it's one game. I used to play up until like 5 years ago when I started doing this. You wouldn't be able to name a game that I hadn't played. I played everything. Everything that came out, I would have. And then I'm just so far behind now. The ridiculous thing is I still buy them. I just don't play them because I'm a moron. When the semester ends, I plan to buy Red Dead Redemption 2 for the PC. How am I finding it? I'm enjoying it. I still don't. The reason I started playing it is because it was voted the podcast's game of the generation. And Pab, my esteemed podcast co-host, uttered the phrase, it was the best story of the generation, which that piqued my interest because I love a good story. So on the basis of it being the best story of the generation, I started playing it around about Christmas time. And I am enjoying it. It's a very good game. I enjoyed the first one. It's still very much Grand Theft Auto. It's as silky smooth and well put together and polished as a GTA game, as GTA 5. It is really nice. Fred Star, thanks for the bits. I don't see this greatest story ever, but it's a very, very, very polished game that has an engaging story and actual characters who have character arcs and personalities and character development. It's a very well put together technical achievement, but it's still not as good a story as Detroit. Grand Theft Auto. It is Grand Theft Auto. What would I say? What game would I say is the best story of the last generation? Detroit. Loved Detroit. There you go. Connor confirming. Best story. It's pretty good, but Detroit Become Human was way better. Exactly. I also think The Last of Us 2 was a better story from what I've seen so far. We're talking about last generation. See, God of War, I really struggled to get into. I played probably the mistake I made with God of War, I think, and I might go back to it one day, is I tried to do it as a YouTube series. So I got like 10 45-minute episodes into a God of War YouTube series and then stopped playing it because the series wasn't doing very well and I just couldn't get into the game. So I was like, 9-10 hours into God of War and it hadn't really captured me, but that's because I was playing it whilst talking the whole time and not really fully engaging with what was going on. I think that was the final non-FM game I tried to do a YouTube series on because I just realised this is supposed to be one of the best games ever made and I'm not enjoying it because I'm trying to make it work. So I need a blow to the head to forget all of it, or enough time to pass so that I can then go back to it and give it another try. I'll get back around to it eventually. I'm one of the 10 people that actually enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda. I was looking at Mass Effect Andromeda over the weekend because I was sat there doing my usual Saturday evening thing on the PS5. Like, I bought this thing. I need to find something to do on it, which is why I ended up downloading Horizon. But I was looking because I've got EA Play on there. Andromeda's part of that, and I loved the first 3 Mass Effect games. I even enjoyed the ending to Mass Effect 3. I thought the ending was perfect for what the series had led up to. But I've never even started Andromeda because it got such horrible reviews, and it came out when I'd already started YouTube. I just never really got around to starting it. So at some point, I'll give Andromeda a try, probably. A 65-year-old has completed Red Dead Redemption 2 30 plus times so far. Why are they playing it over and over again? Does it vary? Hydrate. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The thing that... Posture check as well. The thing with Andromeda is because it's all new characters, isn't it? And it was just a one-off. It kind of loses a lot of what was special about Mass Effect. Because Mass Effect, from the word go, we knew that it was like the first big AAA game that the decision you knew from the outset, decisions you made in the first game would be relevant throughout the entire series. They made that point really clear at the start. So, like, in the first game, depending on, I forget the names of the characters now, it was so long ago, but there's the two people in the first game where you basically have to choose which one lives and which one dies. And then when you get back round to the third game, the one that you let live turns up again based on what you did in the first game. And it was so perfectly crafted. And then they've got Andromeda, which is this standalone. Oh, that's not what was special about Mass Effect. Dun, dun. What do I think about Pokemon? I like Pokemon. I'm not super into Pokemon like a lot of people are. I've got a tickle on my throat. I'm just going to mute for a second while I try and untickle my throat. Ridiculous. I can't remember what the question was now. Oh, Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon's fine. I'm too old to be super obsessed with it, but I like it. I get them all. I finished some of them. Not as many of them as I would like, because they're usually a bit too long for me. But yeah, I enjoy Pokemon. Previous clubs. Previous club in this save is Llanelli in Wales. We should have a command that the mods set up showing you the story so far of the save. If one of the mods could help you out with the story so far command, just to bring you up to speed with where we've been and where we are now. As a former computer science teacher, by the way, loving the fact that we're beating ICT. ICT was my biggest nemesis when I was a computing teacher, a computer science teacher, because the amount of other teachers or students or parents who thought I was just teaching ICT, and anyone who's been part of the British education or the English education system, even, because I don't know how it is in Scotland, but anyone who's been involved in the English and Welsh education system in the last 20 years knows ICT is that easy subject you go and do and make PowerPoints and easy peasy spreadsheets and then get an A. That's not what I taught. I was a computer science teacher. I taught programming. So yeah, ICT is my big nemesis. We probably need to make a more detailed story so far for this save, looking at what that says, because it tells you what I'm doing on YouTube and then not really any information about this save. It tells you, doesn't even say that I was at Llanelli previously. Mods, we need a mod to set up an actual previously on LOLLUJO's live streams. Just explaining that we started unemployed. We got, with all the UK and Ireland leagues loaded, we ended up in Wales with Llanelli. We were there 5 years. We won the league and then we left and then we ended up in Scotland and, you know, all that stuff.
3 months left before the full year for me.
I taught the boring one. No, the boring one was ICT. I taught the really interesting one that allows you to do what you're doing right now. Everyone should learn to code. Forget learning French. All kids should learn to code. Coding is the most important life skill now. Coding is awesome. Logan, thank you for the sub. I want to send you a typewriter to really tie your office together. What's the PO box again? Exclamation mark PO box. You send me a typewriter though, and it will just furnish my downstairs toilet. I don't think I've seen a typewriter for years. Must be getting on for 30 years since I've seen a typewriter. I know my dad had one when I was really, really young. And the only time I ever remember him using it, really morbid, was when he was writing his and my mum's wills when I was really young. I distinctly remember him sat there at a typewriter writing their wills. And I know that his most recent will was 1991, because when I wrote my will the other week, and mentioned to him that I'd done it, he went and looked to see when he'd last updated his will, and it was 1991. The man hasn't updated his will in 30 years. When he wrote his will, my mum was still alive. Me and my brother were very young children. Oh dear. I had to suggest that he should probably redo his will. Maybe not on a typewriter this time. I used to write in BASIC. I used to spend all my lunch times when I was at secondary school sat in the library doing text-based adventure games in BASIC. Loved it. We're doing a little bit better all of a sudden. Kev defeats ICT once again, which is my new favourite thing. And we're moving up the league table. We've been fired into the promotion hunt, which is my kind of firing. Holiday for this boy. Tired old legs. Come here and have a little leg rub. Oh, you got the tired little legs. Come and have a leg rub. Oh, you got the tired legs. So how's the league table looking? 10 games played. So we played 5 games this evening. We've moved up from, I think we were 8th. We've moved up to 4th. Dante Casanova just doing Dante Casanova things. What we need is a prolific goal scorer. The one-armed Swan, I guess, is getting there. He's in a new league. He's scored a goal every other game in the league. I guess I can't complain too much. My memory from schools was the ICT teachers actually had social skills. That's because they were ICT teachers, not computing teachers. Most ICT teachers used to be geography teachers or something stupid like that. Like, the majority of ICT teachers have no qualifications in anything computing based. That's how I know that if I wanted to go back into teaching, I could start a new teaching job. The term starting after Easter, probably as a head of department, probably within 45 minutes of my house, because I have a computer science degree. I can program. I am so in demand in that subject because there's so few actual programmers who can teach programming that exist. Because believe it or not, if you can program, you tend to earn money as a programmer rather than earning far less money teaching other people how to do it. Our ICT teacher ended up getting off with the geography teacher. Nice. Although, having said that, every geography teacher I ever worked with was an old lady, so maybe not nice. All my ICT teachers were PE cover teachers. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love the video on YouTube. Which one? Glad you enjoyed it, but which one are we talking about specifically? I did both ICT and computer science and much preferred computer science. I was one of 3 girls in ICT and the only one in computer science 6 years ago. Awesome. That is very cool. I'm doing engineering and enjoy it. Heard it pays well as well. Is this true? Engineering pays well, yeah. I mean, anything, any skill-based profession like that, skills are hard to come by. This was a young female ICT teacher, young male geography teacher who played for Grantham Town Reserves. It feels like you've got all the goss here, Scotty. Were you like hanging around outside the staff room? How did you know who was fondling who in there? I'm a maths teacher and taught programming at my last school because there was no one else who could do it. Exactly. That's why I can write my own check. Why am I sat here in the evening making videos? Write my own check. That's my backup plan. I think I've talked about this on stream before. My backup plan, I don't really want to get back into secondary school teaching. As much as I enjoyed the teaching element of it, the paperwork is far too much of a drag, and the stupid government targets and all that nonsense. I'm not into any of that. I don't like being managed. I don't like being told what I should and shouldn't be doing. I hate it. So my backup plan, I'd love to get into lecturing at a university. I now live much closer to a number of universities than I did before. There's like 4 or 5 universities within a comfortable commute of where I live now. And I'd like to get into some kind of university lecturing probably in the next 5 years or so. That's my plan. Kev's a maverick. He goes a little rogue, but damn it, he gets results. Absolutely. Here's the thing. I worked at 2 schools, and in both of them, my department was the top performing department in the school every year I was there. I had the best results within those departments. I get results. I'm a very, very good teacher. I just didn't really set homework, which got me in trouble a lot. And I often didn't mark exercise books because it just seems dumb. A good teacher knows if the kid understands it without having to write what went well, even better if in a textbook. So I didn't do any of that, the waffly nonsense. I didn't write lesson plans. So yeah, I got in trouble a lot. I got results, so it didn't matter. Mr. Mojo Raisin, thank you very much for the sub. I used to volunteer at junior school after having done computer science at uni, and I was asked to take a staff meeting to show the teachers how to use Scratch because no one had given them any training. They still had to teach programming. Yeah, exactly. I could go and do stuff like that. I could go and act as a consultant and show people. I love Scratch. Scratch is so much fun. I don't think you and I could work together. I'm too old school for you. Yeah, I'd just fire you. And if you were superior to me, I'd get you fired. So I'd just keep... Look at my results. You're firing me or this guy? Did I mention my results? It's like an FM. You can be over wage budget as long as you win. Exactly. Now you get it. I was told off for not doing a flowchart in coding. I mean, flowcharts are important to coding to demonstrate understanding of core coding principles. I'd love to know who's telling you off, though. Right, we need a goal here, and the one-armed swan is going to provide it. Oh, the inside of the post. Oh, so close. So very close. Motivation. Oh, he loves a bit of motivating. Oh, no. I say just do what you want in life. Agreed. Like I said in my video yesterday, my 10 tips I'd give my 18-year-old self. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Just back yourself, and if it all goes wrong, say sorry. Promise not to do it again, and continue doing what you want. I used to do it off the top of my head. Yeah, I guess I can kind of get where they're coming from. Can we have Kev Eats Frey Bentos Pie on the Not So Vlog channel this week? Get more tinners out the woodwork we could. That approach doesn't always work in court. Well, don't do illegal things then. If do whatever you want means you're going to go and do a load of illegal stuff, stop being a deviant weirdo and doing illegal things and wanting to do illegal things. I could spend the rest of my life doing whatever I want and not break any laws because I'm not a massive deviant. So, yeah, just avoid being weird. I have a long track record of not getting along with the teachers that everyone liked. Take of that what you will. I certainly wouldn't say everyone liked me. Some kids really hated me. because I was the way I am as a streamer. That's pretty much how I was as a teacher. So I wouldn't take any nonsense. If you're on the right side of me, we'll get on like a house on fire, wrong me, and I'll make you look like an absolute pillock in front of your mates. And won't ever let you forget it. We're going to lose here, aren't we? Come on, you fat little moron, on you come. Melon. There we go. Taking off the one-armed swan. Why did you rob this bank? Kerr told me it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. Don't rob banks. What's the benefit of robbing a bank? You love pens? Because what do you think's in a bank? As someone who used to work, I didn't work in a bank, but I worked in a building society. And I can tell you, I mean, this building society is it's been out of business for years, but we never had more than like 20 grand in the safe. It's a lot of hassle to go to for 20 grand. But if you wanted till roll or pens, then it was definitely, or tea bags. There was a lot of tea bags around. They're the sort of things you can really get if you want to rob a bank. But if you're after money, you go and rob a bookies. Much more cash there. Or a pub. Much better idea to rob a pub if you want cash. Don't see how you can put up with those comments on the artist formerly known as the vlog channel. If it were me, I'd have launched that channel into the sun. But the thing is, and believe me, it's crossed my mind, but 98% of the people on that channel are brilliant, and it's not fair on them. I still am going to make the content, so believe me, I thought about bidding it off and just starting again from scratch. But why? It's just a few numpties trying to spoil it for everyone. Because they're grumpy that they're not getting their own way. They'll get bored and go away eventually. I'm going to carry on making the content for the people who enjoy it. Who are awesome, who've supported me for years. Because what I'm noticing is the ones who are still watching now are the ones who were watching back at the start. They're the ones who are actually there for the right reasons. They're there because they like the content. They like me. They like the content that I make. The ones that are disappearing are mainly the ones who turned up because they wanted meltdown videos. And they can bite me. Why did you rob the bookies? Kev told me to. I mean, yeah, don't rob anywhere. But if you do find yourself having, don't rob anywhere. But if you are looking for cash, a bank, not the right place to rob. Hydrate. I will hydrate. As Scotty says, don't rob anywhere during a pandemic. Exactly. COVID all over everything. Make do with what you've got. You can't go out anywhere anyway. What are you spending your money on in a pandemic? You don't need to be robbing anywhere. Unless you're a self-employed person who'd been trading for less than a year and a half or whatever the cut-off was. Should be noted that robbing gambling operations in the US puts you in more danger from the illegal gambling cartels than the feds. The feds. I realise in America they are the feds, but it always makes me laugh hearing people say the feds because that's what the tracksuit brigade in this country call the police. And it just, the moment you hear the little tracksuit wearing Herberts describe the police as the feds, that's the moment. Oh, it's playtime. Oh, it's playtime. You think you're in Grand Theft Auto. I've just not picked my team again. Why do physical bookies still exist? Smelly old men. I'm so sorry if you like going to the bookies, but I think that's who they're for, isn't it? Smelly old men. The ones who are in Weatherspoons at 9 a.m. for their fry up and a couple of pints, reading the Racing Post, and then they head over to the bookies. Is that not what it is? Pack of fags in their top pocket. I mean, I will ever with you. I've been in a bookmaker's once in my life. I was on a training course at a bank about 15 years ago, and we went off on a night out at the end of the course, because that's what people do at the end of courses apparently. And on the way, the big fat guy with a diamond earring wanted to place a bet, so we all went into the bookies with him, and the rest of us were just looking around like we'd been taken into another world. All these TV screens and flashing lights, and it was like, so this is a bookies, is it? I don't get the appeal. Then we left. I don't really get it. I used to go into the bookies to steal the little pens and pencils. That's what the bank is for. Do you not have an Argos where you live? Middle class on tour. That's basically what it was, yeah. Is that what makes you become middle class? Not wasting your money on gambling? Did we just miss a penalty? I was once in a suburb of Sheffield on FA Cup final day, and the only place open around that had it on was the bookies. I see. Oh, also Mr. H has cashed in another player. If you let one of the mods know what you want, they will sort you out. What's the best city in the UK? London. Clip that and get Kev cancelled. People know I'm only joking. Posture check. There you go. I had a former manager who always sent me to the bookies during work hours for him. It was the worst part of the day. Why were you being sent to the bookies? Yeah, I mean, city-wise, most of the big cities are great. I love cities. Peterborough's a dump, but London's great. Birmingham's great. Manchester's great. Nottingham's great. Twitter doesn't believe in context to be cancelled within the hour. I mean, I was going to get cancelled sooner or later anyway. I'll be fine. One of my high school friends studied abroad in London a couple of years ago. I was told it was massively overrated. Yeah, but it's great. Lincoln's not great. Yeah, I said big cities. Lincoln's not a big city. Lincoln's like Peterborough. It qualifies as a city by default because it happens to have a cathedral, but there's nothing actually city-like about it. I think Posh will ever make it to the Premier League. I hope not. Because I think that would probably be the beginning of the end. You just have to look at clubs our size who've done that in recent years. And not even recent years. Go back 20 years. Clubs the size of Posh who've made it to the Premier League. Name one that's now better off than they were before they got there. I'll wait. The best small city then. I don't know, what do you count as a small city? Does Leeds count as a small city? I would put Leeds. I'd say Leeds is quite a big city, isn't it? Kev, I mean, that's really what the cutoff is going to be, though. Wherever you decide the cutoff is for what's a small city, it'll be the biggest one below the cutoff, probably, will be the best one. Because that's really what makes a good city, having stuff in it. And the bigger it is, the more stuff it's likely to have. Nick, Lincoln is definitely a city. It has a cathedral. Having a cathedral makes you a city. It's not to do with how many residents are there. Bournemouth. Is Bournemouth a city? Bournemouth is ace because it's got the beach. I really like Bournemouth. It's one of the few nice seaside places in the country. Most seaside places are absolute dumps, but Bournemouth's really... I like Bournemouth and Brighton are probably the two exceptions. The two non-dumps that have seasides. If only there was somewhere I could go for Lincoln facts. There isn't. There isn't. Weymouth. Weymouth's not traditionally seasidey though, is it? In the same way as somewhere like Bournemouth or Brighton is. I feel like people don't travel from miles around to go to Weymouth. Maybe I'm wrong. Great Yarmouth's the worst beach place in the history of beachy places. Says someone who's never been to Blackpool or Skegness. Cardiff's on the coast and is great. Being on the coast is different from being seasidey. What you meant, what club of that size has prospered for being in the Premier League long term? I think we're having multiple different conversations now, and I'm not sure what you're applying to. Wait until we tell people we have a city in the UK with just 3,000 people. St David's, isn't it? Is that what it's called? It's St David's, I think. The smallest city in the country. Seaside towns are just run down and full of druggies now. Not all of them. That's what I mean. Bournemouth and Brighton are pretty cool. I was talking about the EPL thing. Where did we get to? What are we saying about the EPL thing? Let's talk about that rather than me just trashing people's hometowns. Which I feel like is fair game for me to do as someone from Peterborough, which is consistently voted the worst place to live in the country because it is an absolute bleep hole. I have a bleep button, but I feel it has more impact saying bleep when you're talking about Peterborough. It is a dump. Oh, Bournemouth. Bournemouth are back down in the Championship, though, aren't they? And will end up worse off than they were to begin with, eventually. Because everyone always does. It takes a while, but Bournemouth are on their way back down now. They're going back up, and then they'll come back down. 20 years' time, Bournemouth will be in League Two. Back where they were to begin with. Brighton's like harmless hipster druggies. Exactly, the acceptable ones. What's my top 3 favourite cities? London, Manchester, Birmingham, probably. Not very exciting, is it? But they're the places that I like to go to for conventions and things. Peterborough was used as a case study for the death of the high street in my GCSE geography. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It is a dump. Horrible. There you go. Lots of people saying Bournemouth not going up. I'll level with you. I've not seen the Championship table. But the fact they're not in the Premier League anymore, as far as I'm concerned, once they lose their parachute payments, it'll all come unglued down at Bournemouth. And they'll end up just like Bolton and Wigan and Oldham and Swindon and Blackpool and Bradford and keep naming teams that were in the Premier League and now are absolute disasters. What about Burnley? Just haven't been relegated yet. But it's coming. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. It's for a small club like all the ones I've just mentioned, getting to the Premier League is a disaster. An absolute disaster, because you end up overspending, overinvesting, and you don't recover from it. You end up far worse off than you were to begin with. The dream for Posh is to be a mid-table championship team forever. That would be great. With the occasional relegation down to League One so we can have a fun promotion season. But I wouldn't want to be a Premier League side. It would be the beginning of the end. But those clubs went mad trying to stay up. Bournemouth didn't. Didn't Bournemouth spend like £20 million on Solanke? Or someone equivalent? You say they didn't go mad. Bournemouth spent £4 million on Lee Tomlin. Bournemouth definitely went mad. I enjoy being a Norwich fan. Yo-yoing is great fun. And to be fair, Norwich are a big enough club to be able to yo-yo between the Championship and the Premier League. It's a bit different for a club like Norwich. Posh couldn't do that. Posh wouldn't yo-yo. We'd go up, blow our load, come back down again and just fall back through the leagues, whereas Norwich can yo-yo between the two. Like West Brom. They're enough of a fan base, big enough club to be able to do it. It's the clubs who, when they're down at Posh's level, get Posh level fans. The ones that never should have been up there in the first place. Swindon's the one that really sticks out to me, and Blackpool. In the last 20 or 30 years. Never in a million years, even Bournemouth, never in a million years should have been up in the Premier League. Ipswich were in the Championship for 17 years, Kev. It's boring as hell to have no ambition. I mean, you can want to get promoted, just don't ever do it. 20 million is not a lot these days. In the Premier League, it is in the Championship, where they are now. Oh, it's half time. Can I just point out as well, as Mr. doesn't know anything about football, why am I not getting loads of credit for knowing that Dominic Solanke went to Bournemouth for 20 million quid? Where did that come from? I don't know who he is. I don't know what position he plays in. I don't even know that he's called Dominic. But the fact I knew that, I don't know how I knew that. That must be something that I've picked up from Football Manager somewhere. Or I've heard someone else using an argument at some point. I'm quite proud of myself for knowing that. Makes me think you're a closet football fan. How dare you? How dare you? I loosely pay attention. Kev's in the Dominic Solanke fan club. Absolutely. What a football boy he is. I think Rangers and Celtic could survive in the English leagues. The way you phrased it, yes. You said English leagues, and I'm sure they would survive in the English leagues. They'd be solid mid-table championship teams. But we should be back. Utterly ridiculous. I say one little thing about Scottish football, and all of a sudden, the whole of Scotland takes the stream offline. Ridiculous. Meanwhile, I don't know what's going on here. I'm loading new image data for a new skin, apparently. Reminders of my views on BT. I know. We're now... I don't know what new skin I've just loaded. I was doing keyboard shortcuts on the wrong computer. trying to get the stream up and running again. So God knows what I've done. And yeah, we're now, I think we're a month away to the day from when we get our fibre to home fitted, supposedly. So fingers crossed, stuff like that will be a thing of the past fairly soon. It's ridiculous though how bad the internet is around here, but within a month I should have one gig download and something ridiculous like 300 meg upload. So whoo, it's gonna be good. Did we all make it back though? I hope we do. That's why people rob banks for Virgin Broadband. It's not available in my area. Dominic Solanke fan club DDoSed me. I was saying great things about Dominic Solanke. I know he exists. It will be the Rangers and Celtic fans teaming up because they're great at working together. Big pals. I said the two of them wouldn't be able to survive in the Premier League, and all of a sudden, whoop, there goes the stream. I should have known better. I'm playing in Scotland. Said something bad about the two big teams in Scotland. And all of a sudden, I'm gone. Celtic fans are probably keeping a low profile at the moment. Oh, what, they're obeying lockdown in rules. That's, at least somebody is, eh? Oh dear. Worst stadium name or worst stadium in England or the world? I don't know. Worst stadium. It's been a long time since I regularly went away, and I don't really see a lot of stadium. We'll say Sixfields, Northampton, just because it looks like a Sabutio stadium. It's so stupid. Luton Stadium is terrible, is it? Never been to Luton, which is weird because it's a relatively local away day for Posh. American LOLLUJO fan, very excited about Born in the USA. Beautiful. I'm excited too. It's going to be very cool. Burton's away end had outdoor toilets. Nice. The Tony Macaroni Arena for Livingston is a great name. That is a great name. Luton Stadium, you basically walk through someone's garden to get in, don't you? I remember the Abbey in Cambridge used to be a bit like that. You had to walk through allotments to get to it, to get to the away end. Walking through allotments in the rain, only to stand on a terrace that had no roof, was not a pleasant experience. I've never been wetter than when I went to Cambridge away years ago. Would have been in about 1998, 99. Because I remember the girlfriend who I had with me, and she's not the one I ended up marrying, largely because she was so unimpressed with me making her stand on a rainy terrace for 2 hours while we watched Posh play Cambridge. It wasn't her idea of a fun day out. She was absolutely... We were both completely drenched, but she was not happy. We split up shortly afterwards. Don't know why. Took her for a nice day out to Cambridge. What more could you want? Did we win? I don't remember if we win. I just remember how miserable she was. Sent you a postcard with your face on. Yeah, I've got it somewhere, I think. Are you the one who's sending all the postcards? I'm getting some weird postcards. So I got this one. Is that the one you sent with no message on it? I've had loads of postcards come through. It's the new grass. Postcards to the new AstroTurf. But thank you. Now stop sending them. If you're sending loads. If you just sent that one, just thank you. Don't need to add the extra part. Big Mike, thank you for the sub. Poor girl still probably hasn't recovered. Probably. I saw her not long before I moved away from where I was living before. Because I guess she still lives in the area. I hadn't seen her for about 20 years. And I guess she must have moved to the street next to the street I was living in, because I was walking up to the corner shop around about the time schools were kicking out. And she came round the corner about 10 yards in front of me, pushing a pushchair. And despite not seeing her for 20 years, my immediate reaction was, what? And then I realised, no, that can't be mine, because it was 20 years ago. And then I calmed down and just pretended to be on my phone and just let her get far enough ahead of me so that I didn't have to have that awkward "how have you been" conversation. I guess she must have moved away and then moved back, because there's no way she could live in the next street for a long amount of time and me not notice her. Yours has a message. Oh, I've not seen the one with a message yet then. You and Anna need a date night when the pandemic ends. We don't, because we're not wangs. Is it the same as a Newcastle woman? Steve Howie girl. No, it's not Steve Howie girl. It's a different girl. Yeah, Steve Howie girls. I don't think anyone would knock her up. She's too crazy. The only way she's having kids is if she tricks someone. she's that kind of girl. She's tricking someone. She's in there with the safety pins. I'll trap him in. Oh dear. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. Steve Howe was talking on Sky Sports News the other day, and my first thought was my date. It wasn't a date! But I know what you mean. Kev finds out he has a secret kid somewhere. Wouldn't surprise me. Life's going too well at the moment. I am expecting like a 20-year-old to knock on the door. Go, all right, Dad, can I have some money? Not sure if I'll be able to slam the door quickly enough. Get out! I've seen the news about Bobby Copping. It is a shame. But it looks like the club are looking after him, which is good. The One-Armed Swan will be the name of the pub across the road from the home stadium. That'd be amazing. When's International Men's Day? The other 364 days of the year. Do you not... I mean, let's not get too political, but, you know... Just like they don't need International White Day. An International Straight Day. The people who have all the privilege in the first place don't need an international day drawing attention to the fact they don't have the privilege. There's actually one on the 19th of November. That is pathetic. Utterly pathetic. People need to grow up. There should absolutely not be one. That is ridiculous. Oh my word. You guarantee that was arranged by the owner of the world's tiniest penis. I'm so insecure. I'm so insecure I need an international day of my own. Grow up. Ah. You can tell I've spent 24 hours dealing with vlog trolls. I've got no patience for nonsense. International Men's Day covers things like the massive amount of male suicide. Okay, fair enough. I'll let them off. Men's Valentine's Day is Steak and BJ Day. Yeah, my ex-wife's birthday. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Once I tried to use it's a month after Valentine's Day. You know what that is? She was like, it's my birthday. Oh, well. That's why we got divorced, mainly. So you used to talk about mental health and suicide as the biggest killer of men under 40. I take it back then. That's an acceptable reason to do it. Right. You have to wait until November to talk about it. Yeah, apparently. What is exclamation mark day? Kevin has had a day he would like to forget. Follow on Twitter for updates of the day. Who set up that command? Get that command off of here. I've never had a day I would like to forget. My day's great. Delete that command. I don't know who set that up. In fact, don't delete it. I want to see who set it up so that I can unmod whoever did it. Let's have a look. We're going into Stream Elements to find out who's about to get unmodded for taking the law into their own hands and making a wang of themselves. Let's have a little look. If no one gets unmodded now, you know it's shady and he gets away with it. Day. Oh, it doesn't actually say who set it up. But we're just going to delete it. There's also exclamation mark France. France is off now. Another holiday will be booked instead. That one can probably go as well. There we go. How odd. Yeah, whoever if I ever find out which mod set that up, bin them off. I won't stand for it. Sack the whole mod team if you don't know the culprit. Maybe. I love the fact we're trying to find out what the clinic is. Annie, thank you for the bits. Plot twist, it was Anna. It could have been. I don't think Anna knows how to set up a command. So it probably wasn't Anna. What else have we got on here? There's a lot of nonsense on here. What else have we got that I might want to delete? The Skillshare one needs updating. That's changed. We get a new Skillshare link every 2 weeks when I do a new ad for them. None of the rest of them look too weird, I don't think. Someone set up exclamation mark teacher. Kev used to be a teacher before going full-time content creator. He used to teach computer science. I think that's the second most recent one. How odd. Now we've just got commands filling up the chat. I see. Vaguely remember that day command being set up a few months ago after a Twitter status of yours caused a few grumbles. I do that. Thank you for the posture check. There you go. I think Anna just wants you to think she doesn't know how to set up commands. Maybe she's the queen of mods. That'd be great if she was. Super mod. Maybe Anna's been shady all along. Hey, Fatty Patterson. How you doing? What a name. I'm just gonna have a look to see if Fatty Patterson's lost any weight. I don't think he has. Oi, Fatty Patterson. Do you want to talk to me about why you're still fat? You fat monster. I wish I never clicked that YouTube link to the I'm a Nut song. Fat shaming for the win. I can do fat shaming. I am fat. I can do beard shaming. I can call you a specky four eyes because I wear specs. It's the rules of abuse. If it also applies to you, it's fair game. Just the way it is. I can pick on you for being fat. I can pick on you for being handsome, muscular, bearded. Any of these things that apply to me. It's the rules. Sound like my old PE teacher. Your old PE teacher sounds great. That's why I pick on guys with massive love lengths. Nice. I'm very muscular. Yeah, I'm a very muscular man. That was me muscling. This is a cup game. I don't think they are in our league. I haven't looked at what league they're in. I don't think we've played them yet. Or far. How do you get out of the... Just pressing keyboard buttons in the hope that one of them... Oh, what have I done there? Oh, I can show you the track and skip tracks on the script. I didn't know you could do that. How have I done that? And how do I make it stop? That was new. For far are not in our league. Are they in the one above? Is that likely? No, it's not likely. Are they in the one below? Are they in the one below that? There they are. So we should absolutely smash this lot today. Is what you're saying. We should absolutely batter them. I think if you use an audio control on the keyboard, that pops up. Oh, that is so cool. That's awesome. I like that. Windows 10's great. Do you think Posh will get relegated if they get promoted? Not straight away. It will take usually second year after we go up, we come down. Bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Just bumming, having a lovely time, bumming away. So I don't want to get into a squabble about fat shaving, so I'm ignoring the last couple of comments. As a fat person, I have absolutely no issue with fat shaming. I wish I got fat shamed a little bit more. It might motivate me a little bit more to lose some weight and get healthy. I feel like I get away with being fat. Something I've shied away from talking about in videos because I don't want to start a war is one of the most, whenever I talk about weight loss, one of the most common things people say is, oh, you don't look whatever, like when I started, I was 24 stone. Oh, you don't look 24 stone. You look really good for it. You carry it well. And I get that that's coming from a place of support and a place of being nice, but it's difficult to explain how unhelpful a comment like that is. It's like saying to an alcoholic, oh, you're all right after a couple of drinks. You don't seem that drunk. You know, I am clinically morbidly obese. I am a big fat guy who needs to lose a considerable amount of weight or I'll die young. So, and it's entirely self-inflicted. I am fat because I eat too much food and don't exercise enough. There's nobody to blame but myself. I am a big fat guy who needs to lose some weight. So, yeah, I don't really have a problem with fat shaming. But I guess some people are more sensitive about it than I am. When I lost my weight, I lost my identity as well. Interesting. So I should say thanks to the wife when she calls me fat as an insult. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Depends where it comes from. If she's doing it to try and help you, to try and spark you into sorting your health out, then it's coming from a place of love. That's fine. If she's doing it just to be hurtful, then Pick on her biggest insecurity and throw it straight back. Marriage guidance from Kev. But, you know, I don't know. Not everybody responds to the same to that kind of stuff. For some people, it's way worse to be fat shamed. I guess. Like I say, to me, I feel like I could do with a kick up the backside occasionally. And I get away with it a little bit too much because I carry it well. Because I'm a big lad. I was a fat child and getting mocked for it didn't help. I ate more food to help me feel good. But I also believe telling someone they're overweight is not mocking and not fat shaming. This idea I've heard people say that fat is healthy is beep. I was 21 when I found out you weren't meant to have chest pains every day. Yeah, exactly. I have people saying I look well, I've been on chemo for 12 months, killing me, and the comment doesn't help. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly. I don't know if you were arguing with me or agreeing with me, but yeah, that's probably a good argument to not talk about it in the first place. As a 17-year-old girl who was really skinny as a kid, but as I got older, I feel weird about my weight now. I'm not fat, but don't look the same as I did a few years ago. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know. We're getting out of my area of expertise here. I don't really know how to respond to these kind of things. This is probably a good time for me to move on and say we've reached the full extent of my social skills, and I don't know how to have actual grown-up serious conversations. We'll call it one of my autism symptoms. I was speaking purely from my own personal experience. I don't have, as a fat man, I have no problem with fat shaming, but you have made me realise that perhaps other fat people do. So maybe I should not call Fatty Patterson a big fatty fat like I did before. I apologise to Fatty Patterson. I will not change his name. Because he's fatty. Fatty. Annie, thank you for the gifted sub. Do you want to tease the 1 week series instead? No. I'm not completely sure I'm going to do it. We might get Born in the USA ready to start next week. We'll have to see. So I don't want to mention it and then you all go, yeah, that's going to be brilliant. I really, really want that and only that. And then when it's Born next week, you're all disappointed. So, we're playing Celtic in the Cup. That'll be a nice spanking that we get. Probably tomorrow night now. Yo, I'm Gucci. Thank you very much for the sub. What about Andy Reid? He is a little fat moron. He was mean. Can I show Ruben Collins' stats, please? As a one-off, yes. I don't normally do this. As he's my player, I will. There you go. Lee Tomlin, fat or big ribs? Lee Tomlin's definitely not fat. Lee Tomlin's just stocky. Fans used to throw Mars bars at Andy Reid when he played. I mean, free food. Awesome. Oh dear. Darryl Clare got thrown a Mars bar at Chester and he ate it. Absolutely. Hydrate. Hey. Lee Tomlin's a regular in bars clubs around Leicester. Seen him a few times. He's a biggish lad for his height. Thing is, he's not. He's just stocky. If you see him with his shirt off, you know, he's not got the jiggly bits. He's just a low centre of gravity, stocky lad. Mr. Mars Bar. Disagree. Not a fan of Mars bars. We talked about this the other day when I did my snack foods tier list and everyone thought I was a monster. The next stream after that tier list, we were down like 100 viewers and they've not come back. I've scared viewers away with a Mars bar, with a snack food tier list. It'll either be that or the constant stream crashes. Who knows? There's pictures of him playing for Cardiff's under 23s and his stomach went over his shorts. I guess it depends on what stage of his career he was at. When he was at Posh, he wasn't fat. He still looked fat. He's one of those who, as soon as he stops playing, he'll probably get fat. He's not. He wasn't fat when he was at Posh. It's funny how many will just completely leave because the stream goes down for 2 seconds. I guess it's just a convenience thing, isn't it? Some people will be sitting. I mean, I'm the same. I'll be sat there and I'll just mindlessly watch something, thinking I should probably be doing something else. But the stream going down is that, oh, right, I'll go and do that thing I was putting off. Or I'll go and see who else is on. Oh, he's been gone for 30 seconds. Who else is on? And I'll go and watch someone else. It's not a massive issue. I know my good internet is coming. And when it's here, oh, it's going to be glorious. I was going to do some exercise, but the stream came back. I could do some exercise whilst streaming. Hold on, I've figured out if I do my pedaling thing with no shoes on, I can do it under the desk. There you go, I'm pedaling right now. Want the proof? Let's get Dave cam on. And this is going to be Kev's crotch cam, just briefly. There you go, look at all those cans. Oh, Kev, look at all the cans. Look, he's pedaling away. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Oh, wrong one. This is what I do all day now. I just sit here doing this. Pedal, 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 pedal. Apart from when I'm recording, that's the one time I'm not pedaling. Yeah, you saw my thigh. Oh, look at his legs. Look at his sexy, sexy legs. When is the internet being upgraded? A month's time. And it's going to be glorious. Yeah, exactly. If nothing else, I'm going to have very muscular legs. Can you tell I'm doing it? Just pumping away. Have I seen the doctor issue cockroach? What are you talking about? What cockroach warning? Am I bobbing up and down? I am going to stop in a minute because if I do it for too long, I'll end up being... I'll start gasping for breath and sweating. There you go. We'll stop. Just thought you were playing with yourself. My hands are up here. Is the stepper any good? I think it's great. I really like it. Right, where did we get to? Now being sent pictures of Lee Tomlin. Yeah, absolutely. That I can't put that link on screen because it's on the other computer. Here you go. For those of you saying Lee Tomlin's fat, let's try and get this link. Oh, the one-armed Swan's about to score a football goal. Here you go. For the Lee Tomlin is fat folk. Telling me that man's fat. That man's fat. I might as well just give up. There's no hope for me if that man's fat. The one-armed Swan scored. We were looking at Lee Tomlin's six-pack and the one-armed Swan scored. I hope one day I'm as fat as Lee Tomlin. Have you caught any of Ben's glasses RP? What's glasses RP? That's not what he looks like now. That's what he looked like when he was playing for Posh. Posture check. GTA RP. Right, I don't get what GTA RP is. What is it? I haven't seen any of the stuff Ben's doing because to me GTA was 8 years ago, whenever it was. I don't understand. Yeah, what? I realise the RP stands for roleplay. What is it though? Someone explain it to me. Bear in mind I'm nearly 40 and don't understand mods. Explain GTA RP to me in one sentence. And then I might understand. I'm nearly 40, so don't ask me. Yeah, exactly. It feels like this is something the kids have been rascalling around with that us old folk aren't going to know. Mods, can we deal with that absolute who's just turned up in the chat, please? Thank you. Now we play Guess the Swear Word that Kev called the little wang basket. It's a server where everybody plays a role, like a police officer, or a gangster, or a restaurant owner, or a lawyer, or whatever. But why? But why? I don't understand. I understand what Grand Theft Auto is. I played GTA 5. I very much enjoyed it. Sent you a new story of cockroaching. I'll have a look at that after this game. Same reason why people play tabletop role-playing games. Oh, they're nerds. Okay. I getcha. Right. Come on, let's do a football. Yeah, I didn't realise it was just because nerds. Now I understand. Nerds got a nerd. Calling lyric a nerd. I mean, I don't know what or who a lyric is. You're going to have to elaborate there. It looks like they're spelling their name wrong, though. From a quick Google search, I found out the wang basket. What? I don't want to know. I don't want to Google his name. Lyric Fernandez. That's Lyric Fernandez. If done right, GTA RP can be very entertaining. Sounds like a lot of work. I'm sure I'll see what Ben's up to on it. I don't expect me to do any of it. I don't have time for that kind of thing. Oh, I like the fact my schedule's been updated already. That's good. These GTA RP types are the nerds Kev would have collected money for him in school. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to take him seriously. Soda Poppin. Is that a person? Stopped GTA RP because he was managing a restaurant and he felt like it became real work. What are people doing? How many more games are we playing tonight? I'm not sure. We'll probably go another half hour or so, yeah, at least. We had a bit of a late start, so we'll get a big chunk of games in. I'm not feeling particularly tired yet. So we'll see how... Well, firstly, we'll see if Anna starts telling me to be quiet. If I'm being too loud, then I'll have to stop. Hello from Greece. Hello to Greece. Soda Poppin is one of the biggest streamers. As you know, Mike, I don't watch streams, so I have no idea. The only time I ever watch Twitch is for those 10 minutes or so after I raid someone. And I'm just fiddling around on my computer and they're playing Football Manager. I can honestly say... Actually, no, I can't because I've watched Pab sometimes. But I've never watched anything else on Twitch. So I don't know anything about who these streamers are. Who's Soda Poppin? I only know LOLLUJO. Exactly. I mean, if you want me to pop a soda, if that's what we're talking about. There you go, crossover. Just count as a collaboration. Ooh, hydrate, you say? Ooh, chemically. Beautiful. Thank you for updating the Skillshare command. Brilliant stuff. Oh, yes, the news link. Let's have a look at cockroach news, apparently. Oh, look at Lee Tomlin's abs again. Is this what we have to look at? Right. Doctor issues cockroach warning to coffee drinkers and people are freaking out. What? Dr. Karen Raj shared a video on TikTok to warn of the gross link between pre-ground coffee beans and cockroaches, and plenty of viewers have been sworn off the hot drink for life. Is this the video or was that the video? I want to see what the guy actually says. If you're someone who can't make it through the day without a boost of caffeine in the form of coffee, it might be time to look away. Dr. Karen Raj, who racks up millions of views on TikTok with his informative videos, issued a gross warning for people who buy pre-ground jars of coffee. Kev's a pod man. And people have sworn off the hot drinker as a result. In a clip that's racked up over 1.5 million views, the doctor decided to drop the bombshell that if you drink pre-ground coffee, there's a high chance you're also knocking back some crushed up cockroaches. Who cares? Pre-ground coffee, like you get in most stores, contains ground up cockroaches. A certain percentage of coffee beans become infested with cockroaches and other insects. Usually they can't be processed out completely, so they just get roasted and ground up with the coffee beans. Protein. Most food authorities allow for a certain percentage of bug parts in our food. Who cares? He tried to rescue it slightly by adding cockroaches are high in protein, exactly. Before warning, if you're allergic to cockroaches, I'd stay away from pre-ground coffee. As far as I'm aware, not allergic to cockroaches. And the theory has been backed by University of Montana biology professor Douglas Emlen, who says after years of studying insects and their relationships with humans, one of his old professors became badly allergic to cockroaches after handling them so often. Don't handle them. I mean... I think like this is a bit of a non-story. This seems like a bit of a sensationalist thing. Is this the actual... Is this the video? Or is this just going to be...
So you know.
Right, hold on. Let's kill the music. Can we hear what this guy's saying? Probably need to turn the volume up a little bit. Let's whack that up. Let's... 23 seconds. Let's hear what the guy says.
If you drink coffee, you're also consuming cockroaches. Pre-ground coffee, like you get in most stores, contain ground up cockroaches. Certain percentage of coffee beans become infested with cockroaches and other insects. Usually they can't be processed out completely, so they just get roasted and ground up with the coffee beans.
Can I just point out, this is a 23-second video. How many jump cuts does this guy need? Memorize your 23 seconds of dialogue. My word.
Most food authorities allow a certain percentage of bug parts in our food. Cockroaches are high in protein. If you're allergic to cockroaches, I'd stay away from pre-ground.
I mean, the message is beyond me here. I need to count the jump cuts. Hold on.
Just so you know, if you drink coffee, you're also consuming cockroaches.
1,
Pre-ground coffee, like you get in most stores, contain ground-up cockroaches. Certain percentage of coffee beans become infested with cockroaches and other insects. Usually, they can't be processed out completely, so they just get roasted and ground up with the coffee beans. Most food authorities allow a certain percentage of bug parts in our food. Cockroaches are high in protein. If you're allergic to cockroaches, I'd stay away from pre-ground coffee.
7 jump cuts in a 23-second clip. How is that guy getting 1.5 million views? Oh my word. I'm in the wrong business. It's TikTok style. TikTok's trash then. Pretty much only drink alcohol, I'm fine. That's the spirit. I might start doing jump cuts. Imagine if my Football Manager videos were like that. The one-armed swan is just one player of the month. If I had a jump cut every 3 seconds of my videos, how long do you reckon you could cope before you just switched off and watched some lesser quality content creator? Hydrate. Oh, and posture. There you go. I think you make it big on TikTok. They know I'm not using it until they give me my username. Someone's camping on the LOLLUJO username. And I've said, I'm not going to... I sent TikTok, don't you know who I am? I'm verified on YouTube. I'm verified on Instagram. I will not use your site until they get my username and I'm verified. And they didn't reply, believe it or not, because they couldn't care less. So I'm just not going to use TikTok. Because I'm not going to go on there and I've got the same username on every single social media platform. I'm not going to start changing my podcast outro, and you can follow me LOLLUJO everywhere on the internet apart from TikTok, where I'm Kelvin3285. No, you're right. If I can't be LOLLUJO, they're going to miss out on my pearls of wisdom. I'm too old for TikTok anyway, by about 35 years. How's my arm? Still a bit sore. On Facebook, it's Kevin Chapman. Hey, on Facebook, it's LOLLUJO on the main Facebook profile. It's Kevin Chapman on the second one. But there's a LOLLUJO page on Facebook. You'd make it big, just talk about random stuff that's kind of strange and everyone would watch. You need a lot of luck to go with that. That's not a sustainable content strategy. You need a lot of luck to go with it. I don't really know how TikTok works. It's already bad enough that I'm on one platform that I don't consume any content on, so I don't really understand. I've somehow managed to make a go of Twitch without understanding the platform. I can't do it on TikTok as well. When do you typically stop accepting any old geezer on trial? Never. Just get them in. What harm can be done by bringing them in on trial? I mean, we've got some spare capacity for salary, and these are some good quality players. We've had him at some point this year, haven't we? Brzezowski. I'm sure we have. Josh McPake can play everywhere in the attack. Wow. Okay, so he is a top tier player here in Scotland. Why is he available for us? Can't be registered until January. We must be nearly at January anyway. So let's just offer him a contract. Because he's far too good for us. Terrell Whitaker. I mean, I've signed him in every other save I've done this year. Do we need to bring in Terrell Whitaker again? It looks like this is a version of him that's actually a striker. How could I break him and turn him into a wide midfielder like I do everywhere else? I don't think we need Terrell Whitaker. Scott Robertson. Watford seem to have just decided to release a load of good mid-20s Scottish players. We'll just take them both. Thanks. Do we want to bring this guy in? I don't really want to because we've got him and he's got loads of potential, so we'll just keep him, I think. I am tempted by Whittaker just because it's all part of getting the band back together, isn't it? I don't really understand why he's available because it looks like he's played the first half of this season for Solihull Moors, got 8 goals from 19 games and then been released on a free transfer. So I'm not really sure why they've released him. So they've released him on the 26th of November. I mean, it seems silly not to bring him in on that basis. We're going to go back and try for Delcroix again as well. Come on, Terrell. There we go. Delcroix. Can we get our boy back yet? Nope. We'll keep trying. Very odd. Well, hopefully we get them all in. Maybe they're going bust. Wouldn't surprise me if they have a poor number of fans. Maybe. I mean, the fact Watford released a couple of players at this stage of the season is odd as well, but we're certainly not going to complain. We'll take them in. We'll take in all the strays. Continue to build a promotion pushing squad. Right. How are we doing? Is everyone present and correct? Yeah, that all looks like my boys. Let's go do a football. Yeah, football. Etc, etc. Why does this keep... It naturally zooms out when I'm not touching the mouse. My finger was not on the mouse when it zoomed out. I just want to stay zoomed in. Sometimes I don't notice and forget to zoom in. And then people say, Kev, this isn't... Your camera angle's changed. I don't think it has. It has. It's different. And it's just because it's drifted out slightly. And I haven't noticed. Because it's probably happened gradually over about 4 or 5 matches. And all of a sudden I'm doing a match from out here and people are like, Kev, this doesn't look right. But it's happened to me so gradually I didn't notice. Right, come on, boys. No highlights at all in that first half. Mr. Woods, Toodle Pip. Seeing someone called Mr. Woods, I assume he's a teacher because he's called Mr. Woods. Have we had anyone who's gone back to school today? It's probably a bit late to be asking at 10 past 10. Teachers or students, what was it like? You just accidentally changed the latest scores. That sounds like the sort of thing that I'd do. There we go. Daniel Watson, thank you very much for the sub. Let's just scroll over the top of it. I do that all the time. Right. Who are we taking off? What are we doing? Let's get Andy Reid on. Let's get the melon on. The one-armed swan and the melon. Back together again. Okay. Come on, boys. Do a football. I went back today. I'm in year 11. I still have no idea how I'm getting my grades. Yeah, that's rubbish, isn't it? We're back next week. We don't know yet. I know Amy's back in on Wednesday. She's in year 10, so she's going to be really weirdly affected by it because her GCSEs started at the start of year 9. So she's missed most of year 9 and most of year 10. But could well have to do exams as normal next year. So, I mean, obviously I'm biased because that's my daughter, but she's potentially got it even harder than the people who still don't know where they stand, because they're probably going to get their grades anyway. Does Amy have the nose swab tomorrow? No, she benefits from having a mum who's a nurse and has it done at home and doesn't have to go in. And where the hell did you come from, sheepdog? Dun, dun, dun. Who let sheepdog in? Sheepdog, did you make a weird command talking about me having a bad day? If so, I have to unmod you. I said hello about 10 minutes ago. I'm so trained to ignore you. We've lost this football match and I don't care for it. I'm in year 12, have my COVID test back today, in properly tomorrow. Huzzah. I had a really weird command set up where if people put exclamation mark day, it talked about me having a bad day or something. And once I find out which mod set it up, they're getting fired from the mod team. Okay, so Whittaker picked up an injury. Is that why they released him? So he sprained his ankle ligaments, was only going to miss about a month, but they released him on a free transfer. That doesn't seem very sustainable. Imagine being a Solihull fan. He's been there for 6 years. He played for you in the Football League, consistently scores goals, sprains his ankle. Right, that's him out the door. Send him to Scotland. We've had enough of him. What a weird way to run a football club. He must have been playing on a week-to-week contract. Probably Kev setting up the command. Had a bad day, set up the command, then repress the day. Kevs don't have bad days. Kevs have great days every day. My daughter's in year 10 as well. I think their exam syllabus will be changed to reflect the lost time. Yeah, but we don't know yet, and that's the problem, isn't it? Dictatorship. What, round here? Oh, yeah, this is absolutely a dictatorship. I'm in charge. Hold on. What do you mean this is a dictatorship? How dare you suggest that this is some kind of dictatorship just because I'm in charge and I have a crown and a scepter? It's good. It's a long one. But it's more than a webcam wide. But not diagonally. Oh, maybe diagonally. This is so much more difficult than I thought it would be. Get that to fit both corners of the screen. Oh, I've messed my hair up now. I only look like 98% handsome. Don't worry, I've fixed it. Every day's a great day, doesn't that mean every day's a bad day? No, Kevs don't have bad days. Just like Kevs don't die, Kevs don't have bad days. Edge Mark, thank you very much for the sub. They're also dropping info on the Royals on Oprah. I mean, I haven't kept up with that story. Someone's going to need to fill me in. There's been wrestling going on in the last 24 hours, so I've not really been paying attention to social media because I had to avoid it this morning because of the wrestling. Didn't want wrestling spoilers. So, what's actually happened with the royal family? They're racist, and apparently that's news now. Royal family in their racist shocker. People were surprised about it. Is that basically the gist of the story? Meghan's a tinner. Good on her. Everyone's talking about it very calmly and rationally. That sounds about right. I am fully caught up on AEW now, yeah. They asked Meghan how dark the baby was likely to be. Holy hell. Is that why they've hidden him in hospital? Because I assume that's where a question like that comes from. Harry and Meghan wanted to be less in the public eye, so did an interview with Oprah. That story checks out. He said it wasn't Philip. Oh, okay. Who's the next most racist, I guess? I haven't got that far enough. I haven't got that far on The Crown yet. I don't know who the next most racist is. This is a bit political, isn't it? Not really. Is it? I don't see that it's political. If it might be. Perhaps we should move on. Perhaps we should talk about sandwiches. What's a good sandwich? What did you have? What did you have for lunch today, kids? What's a good sandwich? First one is the YouTube guys who interviewed 3 royal correspondents before it came out about what Meghan said in the interview. I'm not sure what that means. Tuna mayo. Royal family member tier list. I genuinely don't think I could name enough of them. Sad as it might seem. Unless they're the ones from The Crown, I won't know about them, so I can get as far as Princess Diana. I sat up straight for hydration. I've got it all wrong. And there's the posture check to go with it. Egg and cheese toasty with avocado on the side. And I'm the one who got called middle class earlier. Were you confused? Did you get confused going into a Bookies as well? Hold on, egg and cheese toasty. What is that? Who puts egg in a toasty? It sounds like what you've actually had there is a bread omelette. Gammon and mustard with crusty bread is the best. That does sound pretty special. I've discovered roast dinner sandwiches with roast potatoes in top tier. There used to be a place in Peterborough, I don't think it's there anymore, that used to do a full roast dinner and a bread roll, including like the gravy and like the pork crackling, stuffing, roast potatoes, everything. Whew, they were good. Diana died on the day I was born, so I'm convinced I'm her reincarnation. Well, in that case, we need to have a word about you ruining a holiday when I was a kid. Because we were on holiday in our caravan. Like, I'm so cool. We're on holiday in our caravan, and for like 2 days, bear in mind, when you're on holiday in a caravan in the 90s, the only entertainment you've got is the radio. And for 2 days, they stopped playing proper music on the radio and just started playing dreary, oh no, Princess Diana's dead music on the radio. So that's your fault. You ruined like 2 days of my holiday. I'm owed that. You owe me 2 days of non-dreary dead princess music. Diana ruined children's TV for like a week. Yeah, I was on holiday, so I didn't witness that. It definitely ruined the radio, though. What's my meal deal? I don't really have meal deals anymore. I work from home. I have no reason to have a meal deal. Back in the day when I used to get a meal deal, my go-to was BLT, like a bag of McCoys or something like that, and a Dr. Pepper Zero. That was my pretty standard one. Holidays ruined anyway if it's in a caravan. Yeah, I mean, that's not true, is it? Caravan holidays are great. I remember wanting to watch Rugrats and not being able to. Yeah, but that was yesterday, Sheepdog. We're talking about when Princess Diana died. Trideca UK, thank you very much for the sub. Oh, the Guinness Walker charging down the left-hand side. Sent you a news link about obscene Nando's orders. We'll have a look in a minute. All I know about going to Nando's is every time I went there in Peterborough, there was a girl I used to teach whose name I couldn't remember. And she'd always say, "Hello, sir. Remember me?" "Yeah, I remembered you last time as well." But then couldn't have any further conversation because I didn't remember her. I only remembered her from the previous time I was at Nando's. I was presenting on hospital radio the day after Diana died. Lots of classical music and relaying of Radio 4. Yeah, it's weird. Wait until Lizzie dies. Apparently no proper TV for a week. Yeah, but it doesn't matter so much anymore, does it? Because we've all got streaming. They're not gonna take everything off of Netflix and Prime. People don't watch normal TV anyway. I don't remember the last time I watched a TV show that was actually on TV. So, and they're not going to stop the wrestling in America that I watch on Fight TV anyway. So that won't have as much of an impact. My only source of entertainment was a battery-powered FM radio. As long as Kev's streaming, I don't really care. Well, Sheepdog's just said I have to have time off work. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how in poor taste would it be for me to stream like this? I mean, is that the day I get cancelled? All right. YouTube will be switched off for a week if Kev dies. I hope so. Not that I'm going to die. I'm the new king now. Oh. Amazing. Right, substitutions ahoy. Feel like that would get you the most unique viewers. Maybe what I need, I mean, she's old, isn't she? Is she 100 yet? She must be close. Maybe I need to start streaming in a crown every day so that when the day does come and people celebrate I'm being insensitive, I can be like, did you go into McDonald's today and say they were insensitive for wearing the baseball cap and shirt that they wear for their job? I always stream in a crown. This isn't insensitive. If anything, my gimmick has been infringed. They are down to 9 men, yes. She's 94. Is she too old to do YouTube? Call back to earlier. Could she pass for between 35 and 55? Do people still watch her on YouTube? Or does she have to go and lecture at the local university? The monarchy infringed on my crown. Exactly. Notice we're playing Queen's Park. Kev's Park, we're going to rename them. Based on the interview and how many people got thrown under the bus, you're next in line. Nice. Copy striker. Why not? What's happened in this save? The most League One looking championship table I've ever seen. I mean, I don't really know what the Scottish Championship is supposed to look like. We were in League One last year, but I don't know what's gone on with everything else. We are like 7 years in the future, so things have happened, I guess. I do have a robe as well, but it's already warm with 2 layers on. I can't put a 3rd layer on. I'm already not wearing any trousers and I've got the window open. So this is all because I made the mistake of doing a little bit of pedaling. Trousers, the shorts will have to come off. How many subs does the Queen have on Twitch? Exactly. Exactly. Philip is 100 on the 10th of June. Will he get his official Queen card for being 100 like everyone else does? I mean, I imagine he probably gets a card offer every year, doesn't he? Or have they been married for so long that they don't bother with cards anymore? Check the link I sent. Nando's what's going on here? Nando's customer makes obscene order of chicken burger with 50 extra slices of cheese. Sheepdog? You still here? And Nando's customers left people horrified after ordering a chicken burger with 50 additional slices of cheese. The restaurant allows people to customize their meals when ordering through an app for home delivery, and one worker shared the enormous receipt of the bizarre request which had come through. It shows a grilled chicken burger with 50 cheddar cheese slices, with each adding 60p to the bill. So this isn't free cheese. as well as garlic peri-peri sauce and 10 chicken wings. What, in a burger? Someone ordered a burger in Nando's with 50 slices of cheese. That is insane. How much did that burger cost? Do we have an actual price? That's amazing. The burger cost £30. They've obviously just made a mistake. Surely in that situation, rather than making a burger like an absolute tool bag, you just ring the customer and say, did you like lean on your enter key or something? Ridiculous. People are so dumb. They needed some cheese and didn't want to go to the shop. Yeah, but 60p a slice for cheese. Holy smokes. I am now interested in what kind of weird orders like that I could get away with. Places need to stop charging for customizations. I want to be able to try and get free food somehow. I wonder how many times you can add anchovies to a pizza. What's the weirdest thing I can do? A pizza that's just like 8 portions of pineapple but no cheese or tomato sauce. I might try and customize a Domino's. New series on YouTube for me. Oh, that'll go down well, won't it? Kev's not vlogging. He's just doing weird pizza orders. I used to ring for a kebab and ask for him to bring a bottle of burger sauce with him. Sometimes when we order fish and chips, Anna makes me get a bottle of vinegar with it, which apparently is a normal thing you can get on the fish and chips delivery. You can buy a bottle of vinegar. Because it's weird fish and chip shop vinegar, it's not actually vinegar. It's like, I forget what it's called. It's like dark condiment or something it's known as. Something absolutely weird. That's pretty normal. That is not pretty normal. Who needs vinegar that badly that they order it with their chips? I forget you're a vinegar pervert like Anna is. Between Anna and Sheepdog, they keep the vinegar industry afloat. What's with the crown? What crown? You seeing a crown somewhere? It's a worrying sign. Worrying development. Non-brewed condiment. That's exactly what it says, Scott. He's got a bottle in front of him right now. A non-brewed condiment. Exactly. Starting to go off vinegar because you've eaten so much of it. Right, I think this might be our last match of the stream, folks, because people are starting to see crowns where there should not be crowns, which is weird. Vinegar can kill you if you have too much. That's why all of Sheepdog's internal organs have been pickled. Sorry, Your Majesty. You're welcome. Did he just try an overhead kick? I mean, it was a terrible attempt at one, but he actually tried one, and you've got to give him a pat on the head for that. According to trading standards in the UK, it can't be labelled as vinegar or even put in traditional vinegar bottles if it's being sold or put out on countertops in fish and chip shops. Why? What, so it is still vinegar, but you just can't call it vinegar because it's in a chip shop? What? Pizza with only sauce. It's called marinara. It's nothing unusual. What? That seems pretty unusual. Pizza is just a vehicle for consuming cheese. That's why pizza exists. Just like crumpets only exist to get butter into your blood. The only purpose of pizza is a convenient way to eat lots of cheese. It's the equivalent of corn to meat as a substitute, so it's not actual vinegar. Okay. I knew a kid that drank vinegar regularly at school for a dare, or multiple dares. What a weirdo. Did you go to school with Sheepdog? Out of interest. When we were little, we had honey and vinegar when we had sore throats. Honey and lemon is where it's at, isn't it? Marmite crumpets. See, Anna has Marmite and crumpets. You just don't get enough buttery goodness if you put anything else on there too. Pizza's the only way my kid eats cheese because I told him it's not cheese, it's mozzarella. I mean, not eating cheese isn't a bad thing, Sheepdog. You don't have to force them to eat cheese. Cheese is bad. I used to hate pepperoni. I love it now. Best topping ever. Possibly best story ever as well. Buddhist fun. That was top tier. Tell it slower. Oh, I miss pepperoni pizza so much since going veggie. Have you not had what's the that you can get a veggie pepperoni? I think Papa John's do a veggie pepperoni pizza, which is actually pretty good. Kind of like just knowing he doesn't mind cheese at all. He just thinks he hates it. Nice. I'm sure Papa John's do a vegan pepperoni pizza. They do jackfruit, but that's not. Hold on. Papa John's vegan pepperoni. Get the stupid crown off. There you go. No, that's just the normal pepperoni. Oh, is it jackfruit pepperoni? I thought it was. I had one and it was nice. I didn't realize it was jackfruit because I'm not a massive jackfruit fan. The website says the pepperoni is made from jackfruit. Okay. It was nice. I can recommend it. The Papa John jackfruit pepperoni is nice. Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize that was jackfruit. I have to try it. Shame Papa John's costs so much compared to dirty local pizza takeaway. Papa John's is crazy expensive. Even compared to Domino's, it's crazy expensive. We had a Papa John's when we first moved in because of the novelty, because we didn't live in a Papa John's area before. And my dad was here because he helped us move some stuff over. So for me, Anna, and my dad to have a pizza each and a couple of sides, it cost like, it must have been close to 60 quid, I think. Might have even been more than that, 60 or 70 quid for 3 pizzas and a few sides. I was flabbergasted about how much it cost. Because Domino's, although the pizzas are still expensive individually, you always have money off offers for Domino's. If anyone's ever paid full price for Domino's, then you are doing the internet wrong. For Papa John's, I couldn't find any discount codes, but Sheepdogs here can confirm what I'm like. I'd already put them in the basket. I wasn't going to redo the order on Domino's just to save 30 quid. I'm Kev. That's not what I do, so I just paid it. They did do tater tots, which were nice, though. How much is a Papa John's pizza? Like 15, 20 pounds, I think. Same as the Domino's one. Like nobody pays full price to get into Alton Towers. Exactly. You dip pizza in garlic and herb sauce. Well, that's one of the reasons we won't go back to Papa John's, because their dip is disgusting. It is just like garlic butter, but it doesn't taste like garlic or butter. But the Domino's dip stuff that you get is really good. We're doing winning. Papa John did have discounts. Not when I looked, they didn't. Honey didn't help me out. Still not sponsored, but Honey, you know where I am. Vanna hears me saying that. She's going to come marching in here. Who are you talking to? It's Sheepdog. Why are you calling him Honey again? Sorry. I like reheating pizza in the oven with corn ham on. Don't be reheating pizza. Pizza is better cold. I remember spending around £120 at Domino's with deals for 10 people. For 10 people, £120 is not bad. That's £12 a person. That's not too bad. Pizza for evening, nice and hot, then pizza for breakfast, cold. 2 meals sorted. Cold pizza is infinitely better than hot pizza, and I will die on this hill. All Italian food is better cold. Lasagna is better cold. Pizza is better cold. Ice cream or gelato, better cold. The one that's a little bit iffy is spaghetti, but I'm not a big spaghetti fan anyway. But lasagna, pizza, and gelato, all better cold. My meal deal of choice is cold pasta with feta and tomatoes. So fancy. Players left footprints in the snow. That would be pretty cool. I think we're a little way away from that. Have I seen the pizza hack of heating it? No, but I don't want it hot. I want it cold. I have been known to order pizza like 2 hours before I want to eat it, so I can just leave it in the kitchen to get cold and then eat it correctly. Have I had warm ice cream? Yes. Anyone who reckons they've not heated up ice cream in the microwave and drank it like a hot chocolate is clearly not as fat as I am. You put your pizza in the fridge to cool it down before you eat it? Yeah, if I want it cold, yeah. Pizza straight out of the fridge is amazing. I used to help run an orchestra, and I would love ringing Domino's and asking to talk to the manager. I was ordering 40 pizzas and I'm getting 50% off. Yeah, fair enough. You know you're in the minority on that view, right, Kev? What? That cold pizza is best? I don't think I am. Lasagna has to be warm. No, you want the cheese to harden up. Kev likes a hard cheese. Again, Sheepdog will confirm that when we did our marathon years ago, I ate half a cold lasagna halfway round. I made a lasagna the day before, put it in the fridge, ate half of it for breakfast before we started, and then when we stopped halfway round for delicious snackage, I ate the other half of a lasagna. Icy cold, delicious cold lasagna. Perfect. There you go, Sheepdog had cold pasta bake. It's all about the cold pasta around these parts. Then a Domino's at the finish line. Just after I ripped out my contact lenses and threw them into that pub car park. Never to be seen again. That was the last time I wore contact lenses. Ripped them out, threw them into the car park. Goodbye being able to see without glasses. It was nice knowing you, even though you irritated my eyes. Right, boys and girls, we're going to wrap the stream up there. We had a little bit of a weird start time tonight. It wasn't 7, it wasn't 8. It was somewhere in between. I was flirting with an in-betweeny. We'll be back tomorrow at 7, though. That's the plan. See, I would raid Dave as a party, but he's such an angry boy. Can you lot all go and troll him? Go and troll Dave. Tell him how much better at Football Manager I am than him, and watch him get flustered. It's brilliant. He won't be able to take it. It's brilliant. It's glorious. Go and troll Dave, and I'll see you back here 7 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, Wolves are rubbish, and Kevy 5 times is the best Football Manager player you've ever seen. Toodle pip, boys and girls. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Where's the button?